Welcome to the show. Welcome to the motherfucking show. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you with that dope stream to step to. Aw, yeah. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope stream to step to. Yep. Big Daddy doing one in the daytime.
There's a man they call Big Daddy, a legend in these parts. He rides through the darkness, fire burning in his heart. With his words like bullets, he brings justice to the night. He's a true gangster of love, fighting for what's right. People say he's a bandit, the most wanted in the land, but they don't know the story. They don't understand. His words are pure truth. They cut through like a knife. Big Daddy's got the power to change the wrong to right.
Never trust a whore. Never trust the government. Always trust your gut.
The man they call Big Daddy, a legend in these parts. He rides through the darkness, fire burning in his heart. With his words like bullets, he brings justice to the night. He's a true gangster of love, fighting for what's right. People say he's a bandit, the most wanted in the land, but they don't know the story. They don't understand. His words are pure truth. They cut through like a knife. Big Daddy's got the power to change the wrong to right.
He who walks among the wise shall come to wisdom, but a man who walks among fools shall come to ruin.
Welcome to the show, baby. We're back. Hopefully, we're coming in loud and clear and crisp and perfect sounding. Yeah, it's been a while till I finally found that perfect sweet spot where my audio actually comes in good. Yeah, what I had to do was take a whole shitload of micro cloths, fold them up, and put them right in front of the microphone, filter out my voice. A little too close, I think. The last time I did that, the audio actually sounded pretty good. All right. What are we going to talk about today? Yeah, anybody unfamiliar with the show, I'm Big Daddy. What I do is I get up here and I just rip the mic and just talk about whatever. There is no subject taboo or off the table. Normally, I just like to talk about shit that interests me. Whatever I can spin into a yarn or turn into a funny joke. Yeah, that's basically it. Normally, we start the show off with a little like weekend update with Norm Macdonald type thing, but I put my own spin on it. Talk about the current events, what's been going on, and try to break it down as funny as possible and give my patented hot take. Yeah, sometimes my opinion's a little bit different than others. Sometimes they're offensive, sometimes they're enlightening, but it's going to be counter to the mainstream for the most part. hmm Just chilling, got a stogie lit, got a fucking nice hot cup of coffee. Yeah, we normally I stream at nighttime, but I was gonna fire one up last night, but I laid down, I passed out, went to sleep, got up in the morning, like you know what, I gotta fucking do it. I was gonna almost fire it up right when I woke up, but it's like, wait till around noontime. Yeah, it's nighttime somewhere across the world. Assistant crack whore, still a job. April Imholtz, she's she's trying out, become my co-host, possibly. Yeah, every so often April pops in. One day she may have her come to Jesus moment and actually get clean. Oh, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Yeah, it looks like April's in the back room. April, have you had your come to Jesus moment? Have you finally gotten clean and off the coke? Are you ready to come and finally become Big Daddy's co-host?
I'm hurting, Big Daddy. I need Coke. I need Coke really, really bad. I got these cheeseburgers, Big Daddy. Come on, Big Daddy, please. I suck your dick. I suck your dick.
Nah, looks like she's still a coke whore. Yep. Yeah, sorry, April. You have to get clean before you come on this show and become my co-host. Got the fucking McDonald's cheeseburgers. If that bitch can afford McDonald's cheeseburgers, she can afford her own coke. No joke. Yeah, fucking couple of Big Macs, fucking large drink. I thought there's the same fucking price as an 8 ball nowadays. Shit. No, but seriously though, I heard McDonald's is like they're losing customers, like they're hemorrhaging customers because their food is too expensive now. So what they've done is they brought back the $5 value menu, and I guess they're going to lose money on it. Yeah, anybody that orders shit from McDonald's off of the $5 value menu, they're losing money. So if anybody buys McDonald's fucking shit, buy it off of the $5 value menu. Bankrupt them. Yeah, that's one way to tackle the obesity epidemic in this country. You just simply make food too damned expensive. It's 9:37 in Croatia. Not only is inflation a thing, shrinkflation. Everything's getting smaller. Yeah, the gummy bears, they used to have 7 ounces in there for $1, 7 ounces for $1. Now it's 5 ounces. This is a drug deal. You get shot in the face for that shit. Motherfuckers. It's never going to go back either. Even if Trump, by some miracle of God, gets in there, he's not going to be able to fix it. Yeah, it's too late. And all these companies reporting record profits too. Motherfuckers. Yeah, speaking of profits, I wonder how the Olympics are going to do this year with their profits. Like normally, that's a huge cash cow. The Olympics, they make billions of dollars off that shit once they run it every 4 years or so. But I don't know. They kind of fucked themselves out the gate, getting all these people pissed off, making fun of making fun of Christ and shit like that. I can just imagine like the entire board of these Olympics getting together, trying to plan everything out. They're together in the boardroom meeting, and the guy says, "All right, guys, hear me out. This is what we're going to do. We're going to use trannies to mock Christ, and then we're going to have men beat the shit out of women. It's going to be fucking glorious. Greatest Olympics ever." No, but really though, we weren't making fun of Christ. No, no, no. This was obviously the retelling of the infamous pagan holiday of Saturnalia. Obviously, bigot. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, that was really obvious for everyone. That would be like me talking about to my CG Slums Mutiny video. Like, oh, that's obviously me taking Alexander the Great's infamous Opus Mutiny speech, considered by many to be the greatest speech of all time, and then giving my own twist on it and lampooning the CG Slums. It was obviously what I was doing. It'd literally be like the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, but let's just take religion out of it for a second. Do we have to have bearded trannies? Really? Do we have to have bearded drag queens flashing their genitals to children? Do we have to have that shit? Really? I mean, don't we get that shit enough? We have to have it for the Olympics too now. This is just a celebration of competition. The spirit of athleticism. One nation versus another nation. A dick measuring contest of nations, so to speak. What does bearded drag queens have to do with any of that fucking shit? Nothing. It's what they're doing is just they're mocking you is what they're doing. And what they're ultimately doing is it's predictive programming. What they're trying to tell you is, look very closely, humanity. This is your last supper. Yep, your last fucking supper before that endless dessert. You want to know what you're going to be fed for that endless dessert? You will eat the bugs! Yes, you will eat the bugs! You will do it, boy! This is your last supper before the endless dessert of the bugs. Yep, this is humanity's final swan song. That's what they're telling you right there. This is your future. You're going to worship bearded drag queens. Yep, just like the eunuch warlords of China. You're going to fucking be ruled by these people. They're going to be your they're going to be your gods. You're going to have to fucking worship them. And if you don't, you're going to be called a bigot. Call me a bigot. Call me what do they call them? Transphobes or whatever. Phobia, that means you're afraid of something. We are not scared of these people. You know, there was a study done measuring a straight man's response when he sees two gay men kissing. And you want to know what the response of the straight man was? It was the same as reacting to looking at a maggot squirming. Yep. Looking at a couple of gay men kissing is the same as looking at a maggot squirming. That's how a straight man sees a couple of gay men kissing. Now, if that's how we see a couple of gay men, how in the fuck do you think we see bearded drag queens trying to groom children, flashing their genitals, acting all demonic as fuck? How the fuck do you think we feel about that? It's certainly not fear. It's certainly not phobia. No, no, no. If we look at a couple of regular old fudge packers as maggots, how the fuck do you think we see those people? And you want us to worship them like gods? And if we look at them like it's an abomination in the eyes of God and call it out as such, then we are considered weird? Weird. We're considered weird. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to shame people like me. But you know it starts when you're always shamed into doing what they say, even though you know it don't feel right. In your heart, your soul, and mind. Yeah, you hear about that campaign? The Kamala Harris campaign, the Democrats are coming out and they're trying to shame people. Oh, if you don't like Democrats, then you're weird. Like, really, we're weird. You are the people who believe that women can have penises and that men can get pregnant. But you're calling us weird. Really, come on, that's not going to fucking fly. I mean, maybe with people like Destiny and Vito Gesualdi, that kind of shit can fly, but those aren't real men. You all fucking know it. White dudes for Harris. Yeah, what a fucking joke. Shame. That's what it is. They're trying to shame people into their ideology because they can't use their ideas. You ever notice that? It's not about ideas. It's not about issues. No, no. It's about shit like race and gender. That stupid shit. Wokeness. Who's more woke? Wokeness. Wokists like locusts. They coming for your soul. They coming for the motherfucking children's genitals. Locusts like locusts. They coming for your heart. If I die by my enemies, tear their ass apart. Locusts like locusts. They coming for your mind. If I die by my enemies, lay it on the line. Locusts like locusts, coming for money. If I die by my enemies, make sure they bleed. Make sure they bleed. If I die by my enemies, make sure they bleed. Fucking locusts. Yeah, we coming at it with a little bit different energy. Normally, whenever I do these shows, it's at nighttime when I'm completely burnt out and I've like completely spent myself. I've still got some energy. This is the daytime. I just got done watering my gardens. I got a little time to kill. Fuck it, let's fire up the live stream. I was going to do it last night. Some good coffee. Damn. All right, let's take a look at the chat real quick. Yeah, Hervohe's got a good burger joint in his town, sounds like. Yeah, I just came back from town the other day and I bought a pound of ground beef. It was like $5. Got done making some burgers. I got like 4 burgers out of it altogether. It was pretty decent. When you count the cheese and the bread and everything together, it came out to basically about $2 a burger. Once all the things were counted up. Is Gina Carano really going through with that lawsuit with Disney? Yeah, traditionally that would be something that Rackets would cover. Is Racket still doing LawTube shit? Last time I saw, he was like trying to read the Bible and shit. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You're the most degenerate piece of shit walking God's green earth. Trying to read the fucking Bible. Trying to make the case for throuples in the Bible. It's like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, you piece of fucking shit. Yeah, Nick Rekieta. Anybody who's still defending that piece of shit, I simply don't know what to say for you. So it is going forward. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I don't know why Gina would want to go back and work for Disney. Fuck Disney. It's one of the most evil organizations there are at Disney. Look at all the people that came out of the Mickey Mouse Club. We got Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, all sorts of pop stars. Yeah, it's an MK Ultra breeding ground is what it is, Disney. They get these people out there and it's all about social engineering. Yeah, you want to see some of the freakiest little sluts walking God's green earth? The older women that are into Disney shit still. Older Disney females. Yeah, there's something like I think Disney like Monarch programmed them or something that fucking freaks. My God. Yeah, you want to find some of the nastiest women walking God's green earth? Older females that are into Disney. They still got like the Disney princess fucking mentality and shit like that. Yeah, they were really into kink and BDSM. Let's put it that way. I'll just leave it at that. They're almost as freaky as Christian girls. Almost. You find the Christian girl that's into Disney. Oh my God. Freakiest fucking slut you'll ever find. Yeah, this fucking shit. I've talked before about wokeness, how it's basically it's Luciferianism and a Trojan horse. They can't just come out and say, "Hey, we're all going to worship Lucifer now." No, they got to hide that shit. It's fucking evil, is what it is. When you really, really look at it, the tenets of what it all stands for, and all of it targets the innocent, the most innocent, unborn children in the womb. And if those children happen to be born, they're going to try their damnedest to groom them to fucking chop their genitals off. Some real evil shit. Yeah, you want to know how evil thrives? It first thrives when it's overlooked. Evil is first overlooked, then it's permitted. Then after it's permitted, then evil is promoted. And after it's promoted, then it's celebrated. And then they persecute those who call it for what it is, evil. That's what they do. Yeah, I had my comments banned. Like, I'm banned from commenting for one day for this comment that I made on somebody's channel about the Trump shooting. You want to know what the comment was? I'll tell you exactly what the comment was. I said, I'm not going to be able to quote it exactly, but here's what it said, something along the lines of, and it had to do with the Secret Service trying to blame the local cops and all that. And the person was trying to say, like, why would the Secret Service leave that certain area for the local cops? Shouldn't they cover the whole thing or whatever? So I responded back, the key to this hit was allowing the local cops to guard that area. That way, when it happened, they could maintain full plausible deniability and pin all of the blame on the local cops. That's what I said. And that comment was deleted for hate speech. And I got banned for a day for posting that comment. I'm like, how in the fuck is that hate speech exactly? And I called this out on my last live stream. I said this was going to be the next thing that they were going to start censoring. Whenever you start calling out the deep state, that they actually tried to take out Trump, that's going to be the next thing that gets censored. That's going to be the next November of 2020 and Koof Jab, the thing that will get you censored. That's going to be the next thing. You watch. It's already fucking happened. It's already starting to happen. And that's exactly what they did. Their plan was to pin all of the blame on the local cops so they can maintain full plausible deniability. Like, hey, it wasn't us. The local cops were supposed to be watching that area. It's like, motherfuckers, you're the Secret Service. You're supposed to be responsible for the president's safety. Yeah. It was obviously some fuckery going on. Oh, no. Trump orchestrated it. He had Golgo 13, shooting by his fucking head and just barely nicked him just to get a little blood on his face so he could pump that fist and get the perfect photo op. Yeah, there are actually leftists out there that believe that shit, that Trump actually staged it. Yeah, the fallout is pretty funny. Yeah, just imagine the deep state. They're having their post assassination meeting. Like, fuck, guys, we fucked this up big time, didn't we? The exact opposite happened. Like, Trump is alive and he's more popular now than he's ever been. Fuck, what are we gonna do? Like, well, we do got the mail-in ballots and the Dominion software. Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. Never mind. We're fine. We're fine. Yeah. Fuck, dude. Yeah, a lot of leftists are pissed off too. I'm so mad that he missed. The destinies and vetoes of the world. Yeah, what a fucking shit show. And then seeing these congressional hearings and testimony, and it's obvious that that he was set up for the kill. I'm like, god damn. Seeing the guy get on there and talking about how they left that rooftop open because they want to leave that open so they could look at it or whatever. Like, well, why weren't you looking at it? Like, don't you understand the scarecrow mentality? Like, you put a scarecrow out in the field to keep away the crows. Like, if you post a Secret Service sniper up on that roof, if you're an assassin, you're trying to climb up there, you see a Secret Service sniper already up there, you're like, obviously going to be like, okay, this roof is already taken. I can't climb up here and use it because this guy's going to kill me. I mean, that's just fucking common sense. And yeah, it's obvious some fuckery was going on. And then it turns out there was like 3 or 4 open windows that had snipers in it that were overlooking the rooftop of the building that this kid was on top of. And I was like, how? How could you not see this fucker crawling around on there? Yeah. And they lied under oath about so many things, too. Nobody's going to be held accountable, though. Yeah, if you lie under oath to Congress, you only get thrown in jail if you're a Republican. Yeah, what needs to happen is the military needs to get involved here. Instead of having these stupid pieces of shit testifying before Congress, they need to be in the deepest, darkest hole in Guantanamo Bay getting waterboarded. That's what needs to happen. Waterboard them all. It was good enough for the Muslims of Al Qaeda. They tried to fucking take out our innocent American citizens. These motherfuckers try to orchestrate the death of a presidential candidate. Yeah, waterboard them. Waterboard them all. Every fucking Secret Service agent that was on duty that day, especially the guy that was coordinating everything, needs to be locked up in Guantanamo Bay right now and being interrogated. Not just interrogated military style. That's the only way you're going to get the fucking answers to this. The military needs to take over this investigation, and there needs to be military tribunals. Because there's obvious there was a conspiracy with the deep state using the fucking Secret Service. But it sounds like there might have been dudes within the Secret Service who went rogue and like stopped it from happening. Like, I finally found out the guy that actually took the shot and took out the shooter. Turns out it was a Secret Service sniper in a pair of bleachers that was like over 400 yards away. Like, why in the fuck is that guy in bleachers way the fuck over there? It's like, luckily he took out the guy, and only because a local SWAT officer had taken a shot at the fucking kid and made him stick his head up. Yeah, that's the mystery of the 9th shot. I guess that was the SWAT officer. And then the 10th shot, that real silent, suppressed one, was the one that took him out. Yeah, all sorts of shot analysis, sound analysis. People say the first 3 shots came from a different gun than the next 5. Yeah, they say the first 3 actually came from the real sniper that tried to take out Trump. Then the kid, that was just a... Yeah, I doubt he was even firing any real rounds. Because those 5 rounds that he supposedly fired, they've never recovered those rounds yet. The only rounds that they recovered was those 3 rounds, those first ones that were fired. The ones that missed Trump and hit the crowd, killing one of them. Yeah. And then when you look at his phone, remember that phone that they couldn't get into? Oh, we can't get into his phone. And then they reveal the ping data, and it turns out, oh, looks like he might have had a handler. Somebody from Gallery Place was visiting his fucking house. Like, Gallery Place, oh, that's only the area in DC where the FBI is known to gather and congregate and plan their missions. Yeah, I said this in my last live stream. Who is his fucking handler? You find out who his handler is, and the whole thing falls apart. But his handler was somebody from the FBI. You hear about the van, the Hyundai, the bike. Did he come there on a bike? Did he drive the fucking van? Did he take the Hyundai? What about the explosives? How did he learn how to make these explosives? Who was his fucking handler? We're never going to know. We're never going to fucking know. Unless the military takes over this investigation and starts waterboarding people. Like, Big Daddy, you know waterboarding doesn't work. You know torture doesn't work. Like, everybody knows this. If you torture somebody long enough, they're going to tell you whatever the fuck you want to hear just to get the torture to stop. Like, I know. But just torture them anyway. They fucking deserve it. If anybody deserves to be tortured, it's the deep state and all of their fucking puppets. Yeah. They'd crack eventually. Because there was some fuckery going on, obviously. I mean, this is to say it's either legendary incompetence or an inside job. I would err more on the side of inside job. We've seen what these people are capable of. Yeah, and right when it first popped off, there was a female eyewitness saying that a couple of guys got shot at the water tower. And you see all of these fucking cop cars over by the water tower and shit. And I saw her getting interviewed again. And she said, yeah, some guy in a fucking golf cart came up and showed her the pictures of the two dead guys that they shot at the water tower. Like, what the fuck? Like, either this bitch is full of shit or something happened at that water tower and some people got shot. Now, if Trump had Secret Service snipers that were over 400 yards away and random bleachers, who knows how many other random snipers they had in various nests. There might have been so much like intrigue going on that day. Like you had teams of like deep state Secret Service snipers that were like in on it versus a team of Secret Service snipers that weren't in on it, but they kind of knew some shit was going down. So they were having their eyes open. And like there could have been like multiple shots fired that we didn't even hear that were using like silenced weapons and shit of Secret Service snipers firing at each other and shit. And that's what those two guys dead at the water tower might have been. They might have been a couple of deep state snipers that got taken out by a couple of white hats. You don't know the level of intrigue that might have been going on. And it sounds like, I mean, the whole fucking thing is like something out of a goddamn Tom Clancy novel. But the mainstream news media is like basically like full spectrum cover up mode. Like the Aussies are covering it good with Sky News. Fox News is, doing their whatever, I don't trust Fox News. I mean, everybody kind of forgets that Fox News, they turned on Trump. I mean, like Brutus style, stuck the knife in Trump's back during the 2020 election. If anybody doesn't remember that one. Yeah, Fox News, I mean, they are a Judas and a half. You can't trust Fox News. You find more solid news from random YouTubers covering this shit than you will a lot of these mainstream news media outlets. Yeah, but I guess CNN did interview the local cops. The local cops came forward and like they're kind of pissed off because the Secret Service basically threw them under the bus and tried to blame it all on them. And the local cops came out and said, "Hey, we're just following the directives that were given to us by the Secret Service. Like if the Secret Service told us to put snipers on top of that building, we would have. They just told us to put people in these buildings and just to look at the crowd and whatever." Yeah, supposedly there was a team of local snipers in those buildings that were overlooking the fucking roof that the kid was on top of. Why didn't any of them see him? Well, I guess they did. One of them did see the kid and they called him in. Like, hey, we got somebody crawling around on the roof here, and they took a picture of him and shit. Like, why didn't anybody shoot him? Makes no sense. Makes no fucking sense. Some of the local cops might have been in on it too. At least those ones in that building were. Like I said, everybody needs to be rounded up, taken to Guantanamo Bay, and waterboarded. It's the only way you're going to get the fucking info you need. Waterboard them. Waterboard all of them. Yeah, you having the foxes watching the hen house here. You're letting the FBI and the Secret Service do the investigation. Shit. Never going to get the fucking truth. Yeah, and it was just revealed that the kid, remember how he had multiple offshore encrypted bank accounts? Yeah, I guess it was just revealed that he, in one of these offshore encrypted bank accounts, he had $1.5 million. Like, really? Hey, remember when you were 20 years old, all of your offshore encrypted bank accounts that you had like millions of dollars in? Yeah, remember that? Yeah, them were the days. Yeah, he's obviously a deep state proxy. Yeah. It's just sad, like just how corrupt this country is. because fish stinks from the head down. A lot of these little pissant countries look up to America, like as the leader of the world. And when we start, like, openly doing what we do, like as far as what we did last election cycle in November of 2020, and now with this attempted killing of Trump, what it does, it sets the precedence for these other nations. And all during the last 4 years, it's happened in multiple small countries where they've straight up just rigged their fucking elections. And it just happened in Venezuela again. Yeah, Maduro, he pulled a Biden. Yeah, he had those midnight and 3 a.m. ballots come in. And yeah, it was really bad. It was so fucking obvious too. But Maduro was like, "Hey, look at what happened in 2020 in United States. All of you guys said that was legitimate." Yep. These little pissant countries look up to America as the leader of the world, and when we start doing that shit, they think it's okay for them to start doing it too. Oh, they. We set the precedence, and when we start fucking up, well, then you see, it paves the road. There's going to be some sort of violent, bloody, possible civil war in Venezuela now over what happened. Should be. You can't, because if you allow it to happen, they're just going to keep doing it. Like here, this election coming up, like I foresee them doing the same exact thing they did last time, unless the Republicans don't allow it. Whoever wants it more is going to get it. For the Republicans want it more, what they're going to do is they're going to have people posted up outside of those fucking buildings in the rear entrances around 3 and 4 a.m. when those fucking vans come in with those boxes full of mail-in ballots, and you know what they're going to do. You just don't allow them to do it. If the Republicans sit back and they allow them to do it, then they're going to do exactly the same thing they did last time. Whoever wants it the most is going to get it. Yeah, they tried to take Trump's head off on live television for the world to see. This was a ritual sacrifice, is what this was. A lot of people don't know, but they were having a huge meeting in Bohemian Grove that very day it happened, and they were doing a huge ritual. Everybody was dressed up as druids and shit. Yeah, this was a ritualistic satanic sacrifice. There was a reason why CNN was broadcasting that live. They wanted to broadcast it live before the world, Trump getting his head blown off live on television, because they knew that would cause the most impact. It wouldn't be the same if they just poisoned him or they just blew up his car or something. No, it had to be on camera for the world to see, for it to have the most impact. Fucking BBC was there interviewing people right away. Like the BBC, really? How often is the BBC showing up at random Trump rallies? The same BBC that was Johnny on the spot there, 9/11, interviewing people, talking about how Building 7 had fallen, even though it hadn't. No, 20 minutes later it falls. Yeah. 9/11. That was actually one of the most perfectly planned and executed military operations in the history of mankind, 9/11. The one monkey wrench in the plan was that Dick Cheney ordered that plane shot down. The plane that they said that the passengers wrestled control of over the terrorists and they crashed it into the ground, even though there was no fucking debris, whatever. Like, I remember that day when it happened. I was following the news, and I remember the F-16s that were following that plane. And the whole time I'm thinking, are those F-16s going to shoot that plane down? Because that's what all of the news was speculating, because they didn't know what that plane's target was. And we have to take this plane out because it's going to fucking hit another building and kill shitloads of innocent people. And then sure enough, they reported that the plane had been taken out. And I was like, oh, okay, so they finally took out that plane. And then the narrative completely changed. And they said passengers had taken control and whatever. And then years later, you could look at this, 2011, Dick Cheney being interviewed by Chris Wallace on Fox News. Chris Wallace asks him why he ordered the plane shot down. And Dick Cheney's like, well, I didn't know what was going on. And that's really why, because he didn't know what was going on. Like there was only like about 6 people that actually knew what was going on that day, because that's how well that operation was planned. They were using compartmentalization coupled with plausible deniability. Yeah, a lot of people don't know, but the day 9/11 happened, it was the largest civilian military coordinated drill since the D-Day invasion, since World War II. And the whole drill revolved around terrorists hijacking airplanes and then flying them into buildings. But they had special software installed onto the planes to where they could flip the switch and they could take control of the planes, like Predator drones, to where they could prevent the terrorists from flying the planes into the buildings. And that's what the whole drill was about. It was testing this new software they had installed into the planes and all that. And the reason they were doing this drill was because, well, it all goes back to the mid-90s. A terrorist by the name of Ramzi Youssef. Well, the Philippine police, they got a hold of Ramzi Youssef's laptop, and they combed through the laptop of Ramzi Youssef, and they found an elaborate terrorist plot, and they decided to give the laptop to the CIA. And the CIA thought this terrorist plot was so good that they decided to plan a massive military drill around it. And you want to know what this terrorist plot was all about? It was all about Muslims hijacking airplanes and flying them into various buildings, including the World Trade Centers, the White House, the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, the drill went live, and it actually happened. And like people the whole time are saying, like, is this really happening, or are we still doing the drill? And what they did was they flipped the switch. They took control of the planes like Predator drones, and they flew them into a certain blind spot. And they turned off the black boxes to where you couldn't fucking track them. And then they flew to their designated targets. About 5 minutes after the planes took off, they detonated the Colocol 1. It's a special nerve gas, Colocol 1. It puts you down between 1 to 3 seconds, and in used in high enough dosage, it can actually kill you. And that's what they did. They gassed everybody on the planes about 5 minutes after they took off, and then they flipped the switch and took control like Predator drones. That's how they pulled off 9/11. Oh, what about the phone calls? The phone calls? Yeah, you see the AI technology we have nowadays with the voices and shit. Like anybody knows, DARPA and military tech knows that when we as civilians finally see that shit, normally it's between 20 to 30 years, like the military and DARPA have already had it. Yeah, like all of those phone calls that the quote unquote passengers were making, those were all fake phone calls. Yeah, that's what happened. There was no Muslim terrorists at all. Remember, they found the perfectly intact fucking passports or whatever. Yeah, Saudi Arabia's only job in the whole operation was just to find some patsies to blame it on. But Saudi Arabia was so incompetent. What they did was they just cobbled together a bunch of fake identities of fake people that didn't really exist, but they were using real pictures. And there was actually a dude, they were using his real picture as to pretend like he was one of these fake terrorists. He like tried to sue them and shit. You can look all this up. It was all just smoke and mirrors, just kabuki theater for the ignorant masses. Yeah, it was a military drill, is what it was. Disguised as it was a false flag disguised as a military drill presented to the public as a terrorist attack. And the one fatal flaw in the plan, Dick Cheney shot down that one airplane. You want to know what that airplane's primary target was? Building 7. Yeah, turns out, well, if you really, really want to take somebody out, like a certain VIP, but you don't want to make it look obvious, what you do is you'll sink the boat that he's on, like the Titanic. You got some important people on here. Let's just sink the Titanic. That's what we'll do. And they're like, oh, the Titanic just tragically sunk. That's what happened. It wasn't an elaborate assassination attempt to take out some important people. No. Yeah, it turns out Building 7 was the primary target of that day's activities, the Lehman Brothers building. Yeah, in the basement levels, they had all sorts of records that they needed destroyed. So without fail, the Lehman Brothers building, Building 7, needed to be destroyed. That was the primary target. So they took out the airplane that was supposed to take out that building. Oh shit, what do we do? Oh, well, let's go ahead and take it down with a controlled explosion. Yeah, they've got the landlord, Larry Silverstein, on fucking tape telling the fire marshal, bring it down. Fire marshal's like, do we let it burn or do we go ahead and bring it down? So I'll go ahead and bring it down. And they bring it down with a controlled explosion. Like, you can't just get in there and rig up a building with a controlled detonation and take it down within a matter of like minutes. No, that takes a lot of time, planning, and preparation. It was already laced up with explosives ready to go, just in case something happened to the fucking airplane. Like I said, without fail, that building had to fall. Yeah, the one monkey wrench in the whole fucking plan was that Dick Cheney. Like, Dick Cheney himself didn't even know what they were doing that day. The entire thing, the entire operation was planned by a handful of CIA agents and a NORAD general. Yep, in a fucking room in Langley. CIA headquarters at Langley. Yeah, a lot of people think that Israel was involved. Like, Israel, a lot of people just don't get it. America is a vassal state to Israel. Like, who the fuck do you think the CIA works for? Like, fuck. Like, Israel didn't need to do it. Like, we were more than willing to do it to ourselves. Yeah, but why do it though? Well, it all goes back to an old antiquated piece of foreign policy called the Wolfowitz Doctrine. Yeah, you see, General Wesley Clark, he blew the whistle on this one in a PBS interview when they were giving him the fucking plan for everything post 9/11, and they gave him a hit list of countries, 7 Middle Eastern countries to be exact. He said, "Okay, these are the countries we're going to go to war with." Like, what do you mean go to war with these countries? Yeah, off of those 7 Middle Eastern countries that were on that hit list that we were supposed to take down post 9/11, you want to know how many still remain? Just 2. Syria and Iran, the only 2 countries left on that hit list. You want to know the objective behind the hit list, taking out these countries in the Middle East? After the smoke clears and the dust settles, there would be but one superpower in the Middle East. I guess, well, you could guess who that superpower would be. Israel. Yep, Israel. We were going to be used as a tool to take down all of these countries so that Israel would be the #1 superpower in the Middle East. That plan is still going on to this day. They're trying to still get us involved in this war with Iran. They just took out a Hezbollah general on Iranian soil. Mossad was no doubt involved. Yeah, there could be some deep political machinations at play. This Hezbollah leader or Hamas, whoever the fuck he is, that got taken out, he could be replaced with a much, much more hardcore militant. Things could escalate. Yeah, but the bottom line is the deep state is not to be trusted. Any sort of investigation that these fuckers are doing is going to be completely whitewashed, and they're going to go with this whole lone gunman theory, and they're already trying to paint him as a right-wing extremist. Yeah, I think it was the FBI director or one of these fucking people in these congressional testimonies came out and tried to say that Crooks was pro Trump and that he was a right wing extremist, this, and he was anti immigration and he was anti lockdowns, and he gleaned all of this information from a Gab account that was supposedly his, that they're all looking at right now. And but what happened was the owner of Gab, this platform is kind of like Twitter, but like a poor man's version of Twitter that this kid supposedly posted on. Well, right when this all happened, the FBI subpoenaed all of this kid's Gab records so that well, the public can't see them. But the owner of Gab, he knows what they were. And he came out and he released a small handful of these messages that the kid had had circulated on his platform. And he's basically saying, hey, look, this kid is unequivocally a pro-immigration, pro-lockdown Biden supporter. And he fucking showed the texts that this kid was posting on Gab, and it's like, yep, this kid, he's pro-immigration, he's pro-lockdowns, he's pro-Biden. The FBI director lied under fucking oath is what he did. He lied under oath. Nothing's going to happen to these pieces of shit, though. Yeah, you can lie under oath to Congress and nothing happens. Unless you're Roger Stone or Steve Bannon or a friend or associate of Donald Trump. Oh, yeah, then they'll fucking bring the full weight of the law down on you. Military tribunals for these pieces of shit. That's what needs to happen. It's not going to happen, though. Unless Trump gets in there and he fucking pulls his head out of his ass and realizes, the true nature of things. Hoping this wakes his ass up. They almost took his fucking head off, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Who was the chief field agent? The guy coordinating everything? That's the question. You find out who the chief field agent was, torture the fuck out of him, get the information you need. That's the loose thread right there. The chief field agent, the guy coordinating everything. The head referee, so to speak. Yeah, anytime you see a sporting event, basketball, football, whatever, and you got a team of referees, there's always the head referee, the guy everybody defers to, the guy in charge. Obviously, there was somebody in charge of the whole operation, the head field agent, the chief field agent, the head referee. Find out who that guy is, waterboard the fuck out of him, find out the truth. That's the only way you're going to find it out. He'll tell you who his handlers were, who fucking gave him the orders, and then you can go arrest those fuckers, do the same thing. Yeah, the same fucking protocols that you would go about busting a terror cell, that's how you go about busting these fuckers. You can't have the fucking foxes watching the hen house, because we're never going to find out the truth. You just imagine the deep state war room post-Trump shooting. Like, fuck, guys, we fucked this up big time, didn't we? Oh, boy. Yeah, we look just incompetent on so many levels. Like, how could we miss him? I mean, shit, it was a chip shot. How did we miss him? Well, he might have had God looking out for him. Don't mention God. I don't want to hear that. Time to sacrifice a child to Moloch. Well, I was like putting myself in the shoes of these Congress people as they're like asking questions to these fuckers. I was just imagining myself if I was asking these fuckers questions, because you're not going to get no fucking answers from these people. Like that stupid bitch Cheadle, the female Secret Service director or whatever. Like, she was obviously put in that position to be the fall guy. Like, she was going to be the one that was going to have to fall on the sword, like her incompetence or whatever. Like, that was the reason why she was put into that position, obviously. Yeah, Christopher Wray. I mean, this guy is just like pudding brain. You tell he's not very an intelligent dude. It's like, was there 8 shell casings found at the crime scene, or 8 fucking 8 what do you call them? He tried to get them mixed up. Fuck, I forget. The word escapes my mind. Cartridges, that's what it was. He's like, there was 8 cartridges at the scene. Like, a cartridge is a fucking a bullet that that still has its bullet in it. Still got the gunpowder in there. Like, I'm talking about shell casings, because there's a footage of local cops coming onto the scene and only finding 5 shell casings there at first, and then all of a sudden they magically find 8 shell casings. Like, no. Like, I'm pretty sure it was just 5. Yeah, like the people that did the audio analysis say that the first 3 shots came from a different weapon than the next 5, and they never even recovered the 5 bullets that the kid supposedly shot. What I'm thinking is, if I was setting up this operation and have the kid be a patsy, and like, obviously the gun was stashed there waiting for him, so his handler was the one that last handled that gun, which means you could have loaded that gun with a bunch of blanks, and the entire thing could have been set up on an E-trigger that a person could have activated from afar, just to set off the rounds, just to make the noise, to show where the kid's location is. That way he can get taken out and, like, boom, maintain full plausible deniability. Oh, yeah, here's the shooter. We took him out. Whereas the real shooters are concealed, in a faraway position. Yeah, like I said, there was somebody eyewitnesses saying that people got shot at the fucking water tower. Like, what the fuck is the deal with that? Were there people getting shot at the water tower? Was like there a whole team of snipers trying to shoot at Trump, but then like you had a team of white hat snipers that kind of knew what was going on and they tried to stop it, so they took him out. There could have been a lot of fucking intrigue going on there. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, we're not being given the whole story. I know that, and we never will be. You have to watch random YouTubers who are following the story and actually like really breaking it down. It's the only way to really find out the truth. Seeing these congressional testimonies and then kind of reading in between the lines of shit. Yeah, if I was questioning these fuckers, like if I was questioning Ray or questioning Cheadle or any of these fuckers like that, like I already know that they're going to be full of shit. So what I'm going to basically do is troll them, knowing that it's all going to be filmed and televised. I'm like, tell me, director, just exactly how many children have you sacrificed to Moloch? You know, just little shit like that. Just shit that would go viral as fuck. Tell me, Christopher Ray, tell me the meaning of the term plausible deniability. And after he defines what plausible deniability is, I have no further questions. And just set him up with a little shit like that. Because after you explain what plausible deniability is, it's obvious that's what they fucking did. Yeah. You tried to set up the local cops and pin all of the blame on the local cops. Yeah, it wasn't us. It was the local cops. We got full plausible deniability. Yep. Oh, there's some good coffee right there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we talked a little bit about the Olympics earlier and the woke Olympics. God damn, what a joke. Bunch of fucking bearded drag queens coming out. It's just basically setting the stage for the whole fucking thing. Then you got a man beating the fuck out of a woman later on. Do you hear about that one? The man beating the fuck out of the woman in boxing? Don't you know, Big Daddy? It's been revealed that it was actually a woman. She just has really high testosterone levels. I don't give a fuck, to be honest. I really don't. Yeah, the woman that the thing beat up was like all crying and gave up a fucking match about 45 seconds in. I'm being hit too hard. It hurts. Yeah, that's the heart of a champion right there. Yeah. You're the best around. Nothing gonna ever keep you down. Yeah, but they're saying that this dude was actually a bitch, but it just had really high testosterone levels. I mean, I don't give a fuck. Women are getting beat up, they're getting crying, women are getting made fun of for being men. It's a win-win situation for everyone as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's a joke is what it is. It's a fucking joke. I mean, does anybody actually watch the Olympics anymore? Fuck. I remember way back in the day, it used to be kind of like a family event. Like the Olympics would come around once every 4 years and you sit around with the family and watch it. You imagine sitting around with the family this year and all of a sudden the Olympics come on, you got these disgusting bearded drag queens flashing their genitals and shit like that. Like, how do you explain that to your kid? Like, Daddy, what does this have to do with the spirit of competition and athleticism? I got nothing. I got nothing. I mean, really, how do you explain that to your kid? Fuck. Yeah, I remember way back in the day. The Olympics, what the Olympics used to truly be all about, it was, well, rather than America and Russia like duking it out in thermonuclear war, going to war, no, we would just, once every 4 years, fucking have a dick measuring contest in the Olympics. That's what we would do. The US versus the Soviets. Boy, that was when the Olympics was still like something to fucking, that's when it was an event. The US versus the Soviets. And you have all these great rivalries. Remember the miracle on ice, that fucking, that story, that fucking dominant US, or that dominant Soviet hockey team. Then the US, they put together this team of misfits. And then they end up taking on the dominant Soviet team. They end up defeating them. They made that movie with Kurt Russell, The Miracle on Ice. Then you had Carrie Strug, that fucking that one Olympics in the '90s where you had the U.S. Olympics team or the U.S. Gymnastics team. They were like fucking well, it was Carrie Strug. She broke her ankle, and Bella's like, "You can do it, Carrie!" And then she like did the fucking thing with a broken ankle and like stuck the landing, and it was all heroic, and everybody's like, "Yay!" Brought tears to people's eyes. Then you had that moment, Rulon Gardner versus the Russian the wrestler. Like there was this Russian wrestler. He was like undefeated for like the last 20 years, like this fucking juggernaut versus Rulon Gardner, the corn-fed country boy in the finals for the gold medal, and Rulon Gardner defeated him. That was actually a real epic match. Rulon Gardner defeated the Russian. I mean, it was basically like Ivan Drago versus Rocky, but like real life version. But easily the Olympics' greatest moment, the greatest moment in the Olympics, easily, the Dream Team. Yep, the fucking Dream Team. When you had all of the greatest basketball players of all time get together on one team. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. And they fucking dominated the world. Just crushed them. Yeah, that was when the Olympics peaked right there, when the first Dream Team was put together. Yeah, Michael Jordan. A lot of people ask, who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan? Anybody who saw both of them play, it's not even a question. Jordan, it's not even a fucking question. Jordan is so much better than LeBron. Because Jordan has one thing that LeBron will never have. Killer instinct. LeBron doesn't have a killer instinct. If LeBron had the same killer instinct as Michael Jordan, LeBron would average probably 55 points a game. And it was a different league back then, too. Like you can actually hand check people. You can put your hands on people during defense. You can't do that nowadays. You breathe on somebody nowadays, like they'll flop on the ground. They'll call a foul. Or look at it again. They'll go look at the replay and shit. This is a joke, like basketball nowadays. Like if Michael Jordan was playing in the league nowadays, like Michael Jordan would average between 45 to 50 points a game easily. Probably even more if he wanted. Yeah, Michael Jordan never lost in NBA Finals, too. 6 for 6. Yeah, LeBron. Plus, LeBron's bitch ass, too, and he's a leftist. He's all pro-China. I guess he forced the Lakers to draft his son, Bronny. And Bronny, he's not even like NBA worthy. Like this guy would, and they took him like I think it was in the first round too, or in the second round. Like they took him early. Basically wasted a draft pick. Nepotism, fucking nepotism. Yeah, Bronny, he had some sort of heart issues too, because he had got the jab. Yeah, I guess he's just a shadow of what his daddy is. He don't got the heart. He don't got that killer instinct. LeBron got to play with his son, though. Aw. Yeah, I told myself a long time ago I would never, ever watch another NBA game again until LeBron James is out of the league. I used to be a huge basketball fan, too. The sports ball, I used to be a huge football fan, too. But ever since the coof. Ever since the fucking coof. Seeing everybody getting jabbed, wearing masks, and then all that BLM bullshit too. It's like, fuck. And all of these sports people basically came out and they basically said, hey, if you're not a liberal, we don't want you watching. This is liberals only sports now. This is liberals only sports. If you're not a liberal, we don't want you watching. Well, fuck you, you pieces of fucking shit. Keep your fucking sports ball then, you liberal pieces of fucking trash. Liberals only sports. Fuck you. So then I stopped watching it. Once sports became liberals only sports, once they didn't want people like me as a fan anymore, I'm like, fine, you don't want me as a fan anymore? Fine, I won't fucking watch you anymore. Yeah, very, very few people are capable of doing that, though. Just completely walking away from something like that. Like, I walked away from Hollywood movies after The Last Jedi. That was the last movie I saw in a movie theater, The Last Jedi. back in 2016. It's been that fucking long. I held true to my principles. If all of these other fucking stupid pieces of shit would have done the same, what do you think would have happened? They would have had to change their ways because nobody would have went to watch their fucking movies. Like, what are they going to do? Make movies where, like, not a living soul goes to watch in the theaters? They would obviously have to change their ways. No, everybody still watches that shit, and they still give them money. They still promote them through hate watching. Get the nerdrotics of the world and all of their ilk. Disney is woke. Star Wars is woke. Doctor Who is woke. Yes, we know that. Just stop watching the shit already. You take away their power by taking away the views. Just simply stop watching them. It's the only way. The only fucking way. Yeah, we got a little over an hour in. You know what? We're going to take a little break. I'm going to get up and stretch the legs. We're going to throw on a little bumper music, and then we're going to come back and finish the show out. Yep. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, we're just getting started. What are we going to talk about when I come back? Maybe I'll talk about some more lighthearted shit. That's usually what I do. First part of the show, we talk about ideas, events, and then we talk about people. Yeah. All in all, we're all just some bricks in the wall sometimes. All right, guys, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, I'm going to rant and rave some more.
All in all, we're all just some bricks in the wall. All in all, we're all just some bricks in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. We don't need no education. We don't need no forced control. No more grooming in the classroom. Teachers, leave those kids alone. Hey, teachers, leave those kids alone. All in all, you're all just some bricks in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. All in all, you're all just some bricks in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. I don't need no arms around me. Got no strings that hold me down. Upon the wall I see the writing. Ain't nobody to calm me down. There ain't nobody ever gonna calm me down. All in all, you're all just some bricks in the wall. All in all, you're all just some bricks in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. All in all, you're all just some bricks in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. We don't need no education. We don't need no forced control. No more grooming in the classroom. Teachers, leave those kids alone. Hey, teachers, leave those kids alone. All in all, you're all just some bricks in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. All in all, you're all just some bricks in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. All in all, you're all just some bricks in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall.
Patience is a virtue, make no mistake. A patient man is rewarded in the end. You shed a tear 'cause I'm missing you, but I'm still alright to smile. Girl, I think about you every day now. There was a time when I wasn't sure, but you set my mind at ease. There is no doubt that you're in my heart now. Settle on mine, take it slow, it'll work itself out fine. All we need is just a little patience. Said sugar, take it slow, we come together fine. All we need is just a little patience. Sitting here on the stairs, 'cause I'd rather be alone. If I can have you right now, I'll wait dear. Sometimes I get so intense, though I can't speed up the time. We spoke of was and we spoke of when. You know that things will turn out right. Settle on mine, take it slow, it'll work itself out fine. All we need is just a little patience. Said sugar, take it slow, we'll come together fine. All we need is just a little patience. Patience. Yeah. Just a little 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 patience.
You know they tied me up to a stake, burnt alive of hellfire flame, scream and wail and cry in pain. Things will never be the same. They've gone and left me so unwhole. They've gone and blessed me with an iron soul. This heart of pain don't feel no more. Woman with the iron soul, quoth the raven, nevermore. Oh, nevermore, I quote the raven, nevermore. Oh, nevermore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Quoth the raven, nevermore, This heart of pain don't feel no more. Woman with the iron soul, woman with the iron soul, woman with the iron soul, booted out of heaven's door. Feels so good I can't explore. Quoth the raven nevermore. Quoth the raven nevermore. Quoth the raven nevermore. Quoth the raven nevermore. Ah, oh, woman with the iron, with the iron soul, feels so good I can't explore. Screaming out that old back door. Quoth the raven nevermore. Quoth the raven nevermore. This pain don't feel no more. Woman with the iron soul, woman with the iron soul, woman with the iron soul.
And we're back. And we're back. Yeah, who says AI is soulless? Yeah, that fucking sounded like some Ella Fitzgerald or something right there. Some Etta James. Yeah, that right there is an AI song created by me. Yeah, it was used as music for a trailer to my manga. It's available now. I'll have links I'll have links posted down below, comments, description, all that. Yeah, I got the first 3 chapters up right now. Manga Plus creators. 4th chapter will be released sometime next week. Yeah, fucking Google. Well, I'm so fucking mad at Google right now. You guys have no idea how mad I am at Google. Yeah, I've been editing my manga together and posting it, and I have all of the pages in this area called Google Photos. It's this app. Like, they were all on the Google Drive, and I couldn't straight up download them for some reason. I don't know. I could only transfer them to my Google Photos folder and access them that way. And Google Photos had a very, very handy function. You could go in there and crop images, and they would maintain their full resolution and clarity. And these pictures I'm working with are like 600 dpi at A4 page sizes. Some of these page sizes are like 6,000 by 8,000 pixels and more, and very, very huge pages. Most of them are like 50 megabytes and more. So what I do is go in there and I'd crop out a certain panel. I want to, crop out 2 panels, put them on their own page or something. I could do that. And they would maintain full clarity and resolution. But then all of a sudden, this little thing kept popping up, and it was really, really annoying. Every time I would access the Google Photos folder, it would say, download the update right now. Download the update. You're missing out. For optimal performance, download the update. And every time I opened the folder, that stupid download the update bullshit kept popping up, and there's no way to make it go away, whatever. So finally, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just download the update. That way I won't have this stupid thing popping up all the time. Oh, God. Fuck. That's one of the greatest regrets of my life. I wish I did not download that update. Anyway, I downloaded the update, and then I start going back to do my work. I go crop an image, and I look at it. Wait a minute. Something's wrong here. Something's bad wrong here. Instead of having full resolution and clarity like it once did, it looks like somebody smeared a lens of Vaseline over it. It's just muddy, blurry. It's lost all of its resolution and clarity. What the fuck happened? Was this an anomaly? So I did it again, and then again, and it was the same fucking shit. Oh my God, I was so mad. What they did was they downgraded the app. They downgraded it. The fucking update severely downgraded the app. You can't crop images and maintain the full clarity anymore. I have no idea why. It makes no sense. So then I go to leave a bad review. And this is where I realized I fucked up. Before downloading that update, I should have looked at the review section on the Google Play Store, like all of the latest reviews or whatever. You look at the latest reviews, and 1-star review all across the board. And it's all due to the update. Everybody says after the update, it went to shit. I lost all my pictures. After the update, it won't do this. After the update, it won't do that. It wasn't just the cropping image. It was like so many different issues with this update. But for some reason, the app still maintains a near perfect score. Yeah, a Google app on the Google Play Store is obviously going to maintain a near perfect score, even though it's a garbage app. I mean, it's a paperweight app now. It's useless, utterly fucking useless. I had to download a new app to get the job done, but even then, it doesn't get the job done quite as well. I still have to like boost up the resolution through a fucking filter, and it's just the entire process takes literally 10 times longer than it used to. Like last week, it literally cost me 3 days of work, like 3 extra days of working on this fucking shit. And like the chapter 4 is a fucking big chapter, and it's like, oh my God. And it's like waking up in the morning, beginning work, and then like going to bed at like 2 a.m. type shit, like putting in a full day type shit. All because Google fucked me over so badly with this fucking update. Oh my God. If I could go back in time and do it again, I would not have downloaded the update. I know that. And then we come to the CrowdStrike debacle. You guys remember that one that happened here recently? CrowdStrike? Yeah, apparently there's this piece of software run by a company called CrowdStrike. Or CrowdStrike is the software, I forget exactly. But they're keyed into all sorts of key pieces of infrastructure related to banking, the airlines. And I guess somebody had wrote a bad code, like they switched out a 9 for a 0, or they did something where one letter got replaced in the code, and like it completely crippled like key vital systems of infrastructure. All because of the update. They decided to update the CrowdStrike software, and the update completely fucked everything up. Yeah. And I learned right then and there a very valuable lesson. Like if you're using an app and the app works perfectly fine, there's nothing wrong with it, whatever you do, don't download any updates. Or if you do, go look at the review section first to make sure the update isn't going to completely fuck it up. Yeah, normally with an update, it makes the app better. Like it doesn't fucking like hamstring it and lobotomize it. It just makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. But it's Google. It's fucking Google. So once you understand how Google is, it makes perfect sense. And this Google Photos app has been around for a long time. I saw one of these people, like that gave a 1-star review, said that they had this app for the past 10 years, and like they've been keeping all of their photos in there. And then after the update, like thousands of photos have just disappeared. They don't know what happened to them. These are my precious family memories that are gone forever. I feel brokenhearted. Like it's one fucking story like that after another in that review section. And it all comes after the update. You want to know what I think happened? DEI. I think that's what happened. I think what they did was they hired a bunch of stupid, dumb cunt women and a bunch of fucking shitskins, and they went in there and they fucked with the code, and they completely fucked the whole thing up. I almost guarantee you that's what happened. Thank you, come again. Don't you talk shit about me or I will rape your mother. Yeah, I guarantee you that's what fucking happened. DEI. I almost guarantee you that's what happened. They had a bunch of white males in there who had it perfectly fine, dialed in. They fired them. They brought a bunch of stupid cunts and shitskins on, and they completely fucked it all up. I almost guarantee you that's what happened. Because nothing, I mean nothing, will fuck something up quicker than a dumb cunt and a bunch of shitskins. So fucking real. Thank you, come again. Oh, but we can save money by hiring people from India. Yeah, I heard this one story about how they hired this guy from India to come run an operation, like a real like key vital IT, whatever. Turns out he had lied on his resume. He had no idea what he's doing. And he fired all of the people that knew what they were doing, hired all of his friends and family and shit. And then everything went to hell. Oh, but they couldn't fire the guy because then they'd be called racist. Yeah, this is why Western civilization's going to fucking shit. White people got to step up, or else you're going to get fucking exterminated. You're going to become extinct. Oh, fucking real. Yeah, that is the #1 fucking problem that humanity faces in the future. It's population collapse. Yeah, I've said this for a long, long time. Elon Musk recently came out and said it. Yeah, he had this interview with this guy, Lex Fridman. It was like over 8 hours long. It's like, fuck, I didn't listen to all of it, but I listened to a lot of the snippets and shit like that. Yeah, Elon Musk, he knows. Population collapse. Yeah, nobody's having families anymore. Yeah, people thought we were going to have some sort of massive world war with China. No need for it. Yeah, China finished itself off. The 1-2 punch of the one-child policy coupled with feminism. Boom, boom. That finished that country off. Yeah, thank you, Chairman Mao. Yeah, fucking Chairman Mao. What a joke. Yeah, I saw this Twitter thread about Chairman Mao, just how fucking disgusting he really was. You know, Chairman Mao never brushed his teeth. Have you ever seen those people in life? I've come across some of those people in life, those ones that don't brush their teeth. Like for one reason or another, they just simply don't brush their teeth. I don't know why. Sometimes they'll gargle something with a mouthwash or something. And that's what Chairman Mao did. He would gargle green tea, and his teeth were all rotted, and like he had all sorts of like tooth problems, and like he never even bathed. He would just use like a warm towel to kind of wipe himself off. He was just this disgusting, like fucking just creature of a man. And he was the one that helped finish off China. Yep. Thank you, Chairman Mao. Yeah, they've allowed the Chinese people to have 3 kids now. Nobody's having families anymore. Yep. Feminism. Population collapse. You know, we saw all of this happen with the Mouse Utopia experiments. We all fucking knew it was coming. They think they can overcome it by bringing the third world into the first world, importing sub-Saharan Africa, all of the Muslims into Europe, bring all of Central South America, Mexico into America, into the United States. They think by doing that, they're going to like fix it. And that ain't going to fix it. No, it's just going to make shit worse. Yeah, at this point, I'm like, just bring on the comet. Bring it on. Nah, but maybe, just maybe, it's not too late to learn how to love and forget how to hate, as Ozzy would say. People might start having families again. People might vote out these corrupt governments. We might right the ship. You never know. I mean, Trump was spared for a reason. Dodged that fucking bullet. No, like there was some sort of divine intervention at work. Let's just hope it was for a reason. Let's hope he actually gets in there and actually fucking fixes shit. I doubt it, but you never know. You fucking never know. All I remember was those fucking, well, at least for the first 3 years when he was president, shit was pretty good. Groceries were affordable. We weren't involved in any sort of wars. The border was, I mean, it was still kind of open, but it wasn't as open as it is now, you know? Yeah, as bad as people think Trump was, as bad as the Orange Man was, remember when Trump was in power and compare that to when the old pant shit and demented pedophile was in power. Who handled it better? Who did? I hate to say it, but Trump did. He handled it better. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it all depends on who wants it the most. We all know what the Democrats are going to do. Question is, will the Republicans stop them? If they want it more, they will. But the thing is, with Republicans, with people on the right, I think they feel more comfortable complaining than they do actually winning. Like, oh my God, look what the left is doing. Like, literally, they could be marched fucking headfirst into the wood chippers, marched fucking straight into the gas chambers. They would do nothing about it. The most they would do is have somebody in line selling T-shirts saying, I was killed in a leftist death camp and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. Oh my God, can you imagine what would happen if we were doing this? That's the right in a nutshell. Yeah, weakness. The epitome of evil versus the epitome of weakness. That's what we got going on here. Hopefully this near-death experience wakes Trump's ass up. Because all of his supporters take his lead, you know? Like when Trump cucks out and acts all weak, then they do too. Yeah, at some point he's going to have to like have some sort of come to Jesus moment. Like have some sort of like prayer, like, hey, Like God spared me. Like we need to understand that a miracle happened, and that miracle happened for a reason, so that I could get elected and fix this shit. We need to get this country back on course, back to what it once was, what Reagan once called the shining, or that mansion on the hill, or whatever, that shining house on the hill, that mansion on the hill that sets the example, that beacon for the world to follow. Whenever we start acting all fucking evil and and like, doing what we did like last election cycle, and then trying to take out Trump here, like this sets the precedence for these other countries to follow. And we see what happened here with the Venezuela elections. We see this Hamas leader just fucking assassinated over there in Iran. Yeah, this sets the precedence, is what it does. We got to become the world leader again by setting a good example for these other nations to follow, not a bad one. Cotton out there. Yeah, that thing I talked about with CrowdStrike, how that one little line of code completely crippled and like banking, the airlines, it really threw a monkey wrench in the shit. They fixed it or whatever, but I think you might be seeing a lot more of that shit if by some miracle of God Trump gets elected. You'll see a lot more of that. Cyber attacks, they'll call it. They'll blame it on the Russians, obviously. It was the Russians. They never would have done this if Joe Biden was president. Yeah. We got to talk about some more lighthearted shit. Yeah, I go right back into the serious shit. Now we got to start talking about some lighthearted shit. Yeah, we got to set the stage. We got to set the stage to start talking about some lighthearted shit.
He's pet of the week, Placer County Animal Shelter. He's a very loving cat.
Hang on to us, please. Oh, yeah. Pinky.
Pinky.
Pinky. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, we got a wildcat on our hands. Pinky, settle down, bud. Careful, Cole. Careful. Why don't I get a catch pole? Somebody got a catch pole.
Oh. Pinky.
Just set it over there.
No.
Get a catch pole.
Catch our pole to get him?
Yeah, because I'm not going to grab you. Oh, slip. Oh. Dude.
Watch it, he's caught up in there. Just disconnected from the deck. You got him back?
Excuse my language.
Oh, good old Pinky. That's always a classic bit. You know, that's actually a copyrighted bit right there. Like if I was a monetized channel, they'd be like trying to take my money right now. Pinky. Yeah, I wonder if that guy had to get rabies shots after that. Yeah, Pinky was supposedly never seen again. Hopefully he found a good family. Oh, in all reality, he probably fucking got ran over. Yeah, he made it a few blocks down the road, and then he got ran over. Poor Pinky. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, let's talk about some more lighthearted shit. Yeah, I guess Vito released the first 22 pages of Superkiller. Like anybody read that shit? Oh my god, that's gonna be an abortion of a comic, I'm telling you. Yeah, first of all, it's supposed to be quote unquote funny, like it's supposed to have comedy in there. Like when has Vito ever displayed any degree of comedy? Like when has he ever told a funny joke? Like what's the funniest joke Vito has ever told? He can't tell funny jokes. No, because he's crippled by his leftism. Yeah, after looking at the first 22 pages, you realize, all of the funny jokes that were left on the table because Vito's a team guy and he's not going to make fun of his own side. Yeah, it was real bad. Yeah, I think I might have been the first one to go on the record saying that ISOM is actually a better written fucking comic than Superkiller. All you gotta do is look at those first 22 pages. Yeah, it's real bad. Real fucking bad. Maybe I'll do a little review of the first 22 pages of Vito's comic, Superkiller. I'll give a few tips and advice on how he could have made his jokes a little funnier. Because it's supposed to be a comedy, remember? If it's supposed to be a comedy, it means you're supposed to have funny jokes. There was no funny jokes. But there could have been some funny jokes. But he's crippled by his leftism. His liberal politics have hamstrung his ability to really go the full spectrum, if you know what I mean. Like the one joke where the superhero, he's having sexual relations with a fish, and the fish is a tilapia. Like, oh, my favorite superhero got caught having sex with a tilapia. And you look at what the fish looks like, it does not look like a tilapia. You want to know what would have been a funnier joke? Instead of calling it a tilapia, call it a largemouth bass. Yeah, he was having sex with a largemouth bass, and it shows the fucking bass sucking his dick. And you see you got the balls kind of like bulging out of the fucking gills. That would have been funny. That would have been kind of giggle worthy. I mean, it wouldn't have brought the house down, but it would have been giggle worthy. Largemouth bass, get it? It would be better fish to have sexual relations with than a tilapia. There's no joke there. There's no joke there. Largemouth bass, there's a little bit of a joke there. There's one joke that was left on the table. Yeah, and he also has the Russian character that is in charge of the fucking diner. Like you had the potential to have some jokes come from this guy, but there was no comedy there. And he's got that female character. Like you had the chance between an interaction between the Russian and the female, and there was just nothing. Yeah, you want to know what you could have done? You could have had the Russian comment something about the American girl, like you are American girl, why do you not have OnlyFans? You maybe have 1-2 good years left before you hit wall, and those titties begin sagging to knees. And you will hit the wall so hard you will smash through the wall and pull a fucking Kool-Aid man. You American women, if you start OnlyFans, I will subscribe. Something along those lines, have the Russian make fun of the bitch for being a thought. Tell her to start an OnlyFans. Utilize her looks while she still got him before she hits the wall. Something along those lines. But Vito would never go there because of his politics. Like, oh no, then that'll make me look like a misogynist. And I'm a male feminist. You see what I mean? Vito's politics hamstring his comedy. Yeah. Anybody knows, in the realm of comedy, I've talked about this before, the reason why nobody makes jokes about liberals, leftists, Democrats, or whatever. You can make fun of a Republican, a Christian, a Trump supporter, a MAGAist. You can make fun of them all you want. And they'll laugh along with you, and they'll still go support you, go to your clubs, buy your fucking albums. You make fun of a liberal just once. You talk a little bit of shit about abortion, you make an Obama joke or something like that. And like that, not only do will they never ever listen to you again, but they will hate your fucking guts and call you a Nazi. And anybody that they see watching you or whatever, like, what are you doing watching him? Don't you know he's a Nazi? Like, literally, that's what they do. And that's why nobody makes fun of them. Because they're such fucking pussies. Oh, fucking real. Oh, fucking real. These motherfuckers. Such fucking pussies. You can't even fucking make jokes about them. Or else they'll throw a fucking hissy fit. Yeah. So many good jokes were left on the table. because of his politics. Yeah. Then he comes to the part where he's like buying the gun, and like he's telling 9/11 jokes, for fuck's sake. 9/11 jokes. Fucking 9/11 jokes. He's like 25 years old. Fuck. Muslim terrorist jokes. Like, really? Muslim terrorist jokes? 9/11 jokes? We're really doing that? We're really fucking doing that? Oh, you want to know what would have been funnier? And a little bit more relevant? Like, this is what he does. He goes to a pawn shop, and then he buys a pair of Viking helmet. Like, Vikings are intimidating, right? This ought to work. He buys a Viking helmet. And then he goes outside, and he goes down a back alley, and he sees a gangbanger. He said, "Hey, man, I got $500. You got an extra piece?" So he buys a fucking gun off of a gangbanger. Then he looks at the camera, breaks the fourth wall. He says, "Hey, you may be asking yourself, how was I able to purchase an unregistered firearm?" "Well, it's because I'm a criminal, and criminals can get guns whenever they want to." Or something along those lines, rather than making the whole spiel about, registered firearms and buying a gun from a gun show or whatever. Because that would have been a lot more relevant. Because what Vito did by doing that scene was he exposed himself as a fucking pudding-brained liberal that has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Yeah, you can't just go into a fucking gun show and just buy a fucking gun. No, you're gonna have to show an ID, obviously, and then they check the ID to make sure you're not a convicted felon, obviously. Now, if Superkiller comes from a different fucking universe, how was he able to provide his ID to buy the gun? How? You pudding-brained liberal piece of fucking shit. Yeah, huge plot hole right there. Just so that Vito can do some moral grandstanding about how we need to register our guns or whatever. Like, a lot of people don't understand the concept of gun registration is a liberal Democrat concept, just like climate change and trans kids. That is only a liberal Democrat concept. Like, in places where you're not required to register your guns, nobody registers their fucking guns. All you're doing is telling the federal government, "Hey, this is where you can come fucking get my gun." Like, you're just letting the federal government know that you have guns and where, because you understand, your average gun owner knows and understands the biggest threat to their gun freedoms is the federal government. So the last thing you're going to do is let the federal government know how many guns you got, and you know what I'm saying? Only a pudding-brained liberal will willingly register their guns if they don't fucking have to. Gun registration is a liberal Democrat concept, just like climate change and trans kids. By fucking putting that stupid shit into your fucking comic, all you did was show that you yourself are a pudding-brained liberal and your protagonist is a pudding-brained liberal. And by presenting your protagonist as a pudding-brained liberal, what you have essentially done is made him unlikable to 50% of your audience. Unlike that, all I want to do is see Meteor Man rip his fucking head off and kill him now. I no longer care about this character because he's nothing more than a pudding-brained liberal trying to morally grandstand about gun registration, when you can't even buy a fucking gun at a goddamn gun show unless you have an ID, because they have to check if you're a fucking convicted felon, because they will lose their license. It just goes to show you've never fucking bought a gun from a gun show. You've never been to a gun show. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You just tried to use that as an excuse to morally grandstand about how everybody should go register their guns. So what's the difference between Superkiller and the fucking trash they put out there at Marvel and DC? You have liberals using the comic to morally grandstand and put in liberal bullshit. There's no difference between Superkiller and all the stupid shit you see Marvel and DC putting out. And Ethan Van Sciver pushed that shit and promoted it. Why? I have no fucking idea. No, I know why. Because he is a leftist! Ethan is a leftist! Always fucking has been. Anybody who truly knows that piece of shit, and like knows him, knows him, Mark Brooks, Gail Simone, you talk to those motherfuckers, they'll tell you Ethan is a leftist, always fucking has been. He just saw the fucking money. That's the only reason he's here, because you can make more money pretending to be a right-wing grifter. Do you really think for a fucking second a true right-wing conservative Christian MAGA supporting Republican would ever in a billion years associate with Vito Gesualdi, let alone bring him on their show and push him and promote him, help him get over $100,000, knowing that he puts unborn babies on the same level as pigs, that he championed the death of former President Trump? You honestly believe that a true Christian conservative MAGA Republican would have anything to do with a piece of shit like that, let alone support him and promote him? Fuck no. By giving Vito a push and try to put him over and promote him, Ethan proved exactly who and what he always was, a leftist. Yep. I saw him trying to defend Vito on Twitter too, trying to say Vito's not an SJW. If Vito isn't an SJW, then what the fuck is? For real, I mean, come on. Yeah, tell me, Ethan, what was your favorite joke in the first 22 pages of Superkiller? Somebody asked that piece of shit that on Twitter. Hey, Ethan, what was your favorite joke in the first 22 pages? Tell me. Because there's nothing funny about this shit. Nothing funny at all. It's fucking trash is what it is. Nothing funny at all. Using his comic as a tool to morally grandstand and promote his politics, his trash leftist politics. There's absolutely no difference between Superkiller and all the fucking stupid shit Marvel and DC are pushing. I saw him as a better written product than Superkiller. I said this before. Vito is hamstrung by his leftist nature, his Democrat politics. Yeah, like I said, instead of going to the gun show and buying the gun and morally grandstanding about gun registration, instead you go to a pawn shop and you buy a pair of Viking horns, and then you go into a back alley and you buy the gun from the gangbanger. Because that's one thing you can do. Person-to-person gun sales and transfers, well, it all depends on what state you're in. But you can buy a gun from your buddy. You can buy a gun from a gangbanger, and you don't got to show your ID. No, those are perfectly legal. And then you make a little soliloquy to the people about, hey, criminals can get guns whenever the fuck they want to. And that's the message that you put out there about guns and gun control. Because if you try to control guns, all you got to do is look at the cities with the highest gun mortality rates. They come from leftist blue state cities with the tightest gun laws, without fail. If criminals want to get guns, they're going to get fucking guns. Yeah, that would have been a much more stronger message, you stupid piece of leftist shit. And then this is what he does. He takes the Viking helmet and his new gun, and he goes into the bank to go rob the bank. And instead of doing these stale-ass 9/11 jokes that are over 20 years old, this is what you do. You fucking throw on the Viking helmet and you say, hey, he fires the gun off. This is a bank robbery. Everybody give me your money. Knowing you're going to lure a meteor man there or whatever. And instead of having the guy in the suit running away say, oh my God, this is literally 9/11. This is what you do instead. Instead of having the guy be in a suit or whatever, you have him dressed, wearing like a trans shirt or a Black Lives Matter shirt or something like that, wearing a man bun, a pair of Daisy Dukes, a pair of Birkenstocks, and he's running away, flailing his arms in the air. He's like, oh my God, that's just like January 6th. There you go. I would laugh at that. I would fucking laugh at that. You make a January 6th joke. The only problem is, Vito is that guy. He actually thinks January 6th was a real insurrection. He really does. So then you have that scene, the guy runs off, oh my God, it's just like January 6th. And then you have Superkiller quirk to himself. I wonder if this universe's version of January 6th was a deep state psyop, ... or the real thing. That would have been funny. That would have been actually funny. Was it a deep state psyop or the real thing? Because supposedly he goes to different universes and each universe is a little bit different or whatever. I mean, that would have actually been a funny joke. Oh my God. But he couldn't be able to tell that joke in a billion years because it would have been making fun of his own side. He would have been making fun of himself. And he's a team guy. Anybody who ascribes to hardcore left-wing politics basically hamstrings themselves with comedy because they leave so many jokes on the table. Yep. Superkiller it's bad. It's fucking bad. Zero difference between Vito Gesualdi and Vita Ayala, except Vita Ayala is probably a little bit better writer. Yeah, why don't you bring Vita Ayala on the show and fucking and promote whatever the fuck she's making, American Chavez, whatever. Might as well. Fuck, same fucking shit. Yeah, somebody ask that fat, bald, low IQ piece of closet homosexual shit what his favorite part of the first 22 pages of Superkiller is. Ask him, somebody. Now let's see what he says. Never forget, Ethan also said that ISOM was good. Remember that? Yeah, when it comes to good faith, bad faith, whatever, I mean, there is no more of a bad faith actor than Ethan Van Sciver. If he likes you, he's going to give you a good review. If he doesn't like you, he's going to give you a bad review. Yeah, Ethan, he was all about Superkiller. It was so funny. What's so funny about it, huh? What's so funny? It's garbage. You look at the art, too. It's like the art is just ugly, ugly art. Like the real simplistic manga art in my fucking manga is more clean and prettier looking than that fucking shit ugly art. You can tell whoever drew that shit has an ugly soul. Just like whoever wrote it has an ugly soul, too. This is an ugly project. Full of just liberal leftist virtue signaling. Just trash. A garbage comic. Yeah, it would have been very, very beneficial to Vito to actually bring real comedians on and consult them before going ahead with any of this fucking shit. Because by doing this shit, what he's done is he's basically ensured that nobody's going to buy the next fucking book. Yeah, if you would have just, brought a real comedian on board, like Big Daddy, like paid me $5,000 and had me go there completely rewrite the fucking script for you, that would have been like, it would have paid for itself 10 times over. It really would have. No, but the thing is, Vito thinks he's funny. When has Vito ever told a funny joke? He's not funny. He's not fucking funny. If Vito is funny, if he's ever told a funny joke, please let me know in the comment section. Tell me the funniest joke Vito has ever told. I'm fucking curious. I really am. What a fucking joke. Yep, he's hamstrung by his politics. Because he's so beholden to his leftist politics, he will never, ever be able to tell a real funny joke. Because the funniest jokes always exist at the expense of leftists. Making fun of bearded drag queens, those types of people. Like, that's where the most comedic fodder lies. Any true comedian knows you go where the comedic fodder is. Where you can the place where you can cultivate the most jokes. And that's where it is, right there on the left. But if you're one of those guys and you completely cut yourself off from all of those jokes, and what you've done is you've basically turned your fucking comic into your own moral soapbox that you could grandstand with and use to virtue signal with, and that's what he's done. Yeah, you can't go to a fucking gun show and buy a gun unless you have an identification, because they have to run the ID to make sure you're not a convicted felon, because convicted felons can't buy guns. To use a gun show so that he can morally grandstand about gun registration, which is a liberal Democrat concept, just like climate change and trans kids, just goes to show what a pudding-brained liberal the writer truly is, and what a pudding-brained liberal the protagonist is. You made your protagonist unlikable to 50% of the people reading that shit. Like I said, now all I want to do is just see Meteor Man kill Superkiller. I don't give a shit about Superkiller as a character anymore. I just want to see him get killed now. Because I don't like pudding-brained liberals. I don't. I just want to see them get smashed like the bugs that they are. Garbage comic. Trash comic. If I could give it a straight up 0 out of 5, I would. But if I had to give it any sort of whatever, it'd be like a 0.00001 out of 5. If such a fucking rating could be given. Garbage. Way worse than ISOM. Way worse than ISOM. And the whole thing is just riddled with trash jokes like that. He's using his comic book to promulgate his leftist politics. Absolutely no difference between Vito Gesualdi and Vita Ayala. And Ethan Van Sciver promoted that shit. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself, Ethan. You fucking should. I'm the only one fucking who will call him out too. Well, there probably will be others. I've seen others fucking hold his feet to the fire with his association with Vito. Vito is a leftist, and so is Ethan. They stick together. They do. You honestly believe like a true man of the right would have anything to do with a fucking piece of shit like Vito Gesualdi, let alone push him and promote him the way that Ethan does? Fuck no. Ethan proved what he always was. A leftist. A fucking leftist. Big Daddy has spoken. All right. Shit, we're closing in on the 2-hour mark. Yeah, fucking Vito. Referencing 9/11 and shit like that. Fuck. It would have been way more funnier if he would have referenced January 6th and had and made fun of the liberal running out with a man bun, give him a t-shirt, like straight up a trans colored t-shirt, like a trans flag. You see his belly button, you could clearly tell he's a fucking LGBT, whatever. Oh my god, it's just like January 6th. And Superkiller's like, I wonder if in this universe January 6th was a deep state psyop. ... Or the real thing. Meaning it was actually a real insurrection. Yeah, that would have been a funny joke. It really would have. Well, it would have made me laugh. My sense of humor is a bit different than others. I mean, there might have been people who found the 9/11 joke funny. Did you find the 9/11 joke funny from Superkiller? If you did, let me know. Like, if you actually found any of that shit funny, tell me what was your favorite joke that was told in the first 22 pages. I really am fucking curious. Yeah, my comic, the way it's written, like, this is not a comedy, what I'm doing. My comic, my manga, my manga. It's manga. But it's got more funny moments than anything in the fucking first 22 pages of Superkiller. It seriously does. Like the interaction between the main character and the guards, for instance. Like, you'll see this guard. He'll be sitting there sipping on a cup of coffee. And on the cup of coffee, it says, "I'd rather be fishing." One of those mugs. And then the next scene, he's getting his head blown off. "Oh, you'd rather be fishing?" "Yeah, I'm sure. Rather be fishing than dead." You know, just a little something like that. Just something to chuckle at. Yeah. Just no subtlety at all. Just leftist Democrat politics shoved down your throat. Superkiller. Super shitter, more like it. ISOM is a more well-written book. I fucking said this already. Write it down and write it die. Ethan was either lying or he has absolutely no fucking taste. He has no sense of comedy. Yeah, somebody asked Ethan, what was your favorite part of the first 22 pages of Superkiller? What was the funniest part? Which part made you laugh? I'm curious. I'm fucking curious. Yeah. Fuck, we're closing in on the 2-hour mark. Shit. Should I just close the show out, or should I take a little break and come back and rant and rave some more? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Maybe I'll play a song and think about it. When I come back, I'll decide. We'll see. I can't believe I've ranted for 2 fucking hours. About nothing really either. Talk about how shitty Superkiller is. and how vapid, shallow Ethan Van Sciver is. Yeah, as long as Vito is, as long as he ascribes to his left-wing Democrat politics, as long as he's a team guy, it's going to hamstring him with his comedy. He's not going to be able to tell the funniest jokes. Right, all right, all right. All right, I'm going to throw on a little music and sit back, think and contemplate. And if I can't think of anything else to rant and rave about, maybe we'll close it out. Maybe. Yeah, looking at the state of the world. It's like, fuck. We could be on the brink of having everything become good again, or we could be on the brink of having it all just completely go to shit. Yeah, what they're trying to do is create a new aristocracy, is what they're trying to do here in this country. You want to know what the new aristocracy is? It's people who work for the state and federal government and people who work for companies that get contracts from the state and federal government. Because those types of people will never, ever go hungry. They will always have jobs. They will always have money. They will always be able to afford the good food at the stores. Everybody else, what they've done is completely wiped out the middle class. They're going to have this new aristocracy and then everybody else. Oh yeah, then they're going to have illegal immigrants who collect food stamps and live off of the government. Yeah, I saw this story where this illegal immigrant is literally collecting over $13,000 a month on food stamps. Not cumulative for a year, no, a month. In addition to getting $5,000 cash a month on a prepaid debit card. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. These fucking illegal immigrants living high off of the hog of the taxpayer. This new aristocracy of people who work for the state, federal government, and who collect contracts from the state and federal government, and then everybody else. Yeah, they think they're going to use these illegal immigrants to replace everybody. We'll see how that fucking goes. But maybe, just maybe, it's not too late to learn how to love and forget how to hate. You never know. You never fucking know. Crazy, but that's how it goes. Millions of people living before. Maybe it's not too late. Learn how to love and forget how to hate. Mental wounds not healing. Life's a bitter shame. Going up to the rails on a crazy train. I say I'm going up to the rails on a crazy train. Going up to the rails on a crazy train. Going up to the rails on a crazy train. Listen to preachers, listen to fools. Watched all the dropouts make their own rules. One person conditioned to rule and control. The media sells it, and you live the role. Mental wound still screaming, driving me insane. Going up to the rails on a crazy train. Going up of the rails on a crazy train. I said I'm going up off of the rails on a crazy train. I know that things are going wrong for me. You got to listen to my words. There's a noble, it's what we've become. Heaven and troubles, I'm meant to be numb. Crazy, just cannot bear. I'm living with something that just isn't there. Man or woman's not feeling who and what's to blame. Going up the rails on a crazy train. I said I'm going up the rails on a crazy train. Going up the rails on a crazy train. I said I'm going up the rails on a crazy train. Going up the rails on a crazy train. It's crazy. That's how it goes. Millions of people living as foes. But maybe, just maybe, it's not too late to learn how to love, forget how to hate. Little Ozzy for you. Ozzy. Crazy train. A lot of wisdom in that song. Ozzy may, bite the head off of a bat time to time, but between bouts of insanity and Satanism, sometimes he's got the pearls. But maybe, just maybe, it's not too late. Learn how to love, forget how to hate. Going up the rails on a crazy train. I said I'm going up the rails on a crazy train. Going up the rails on a crazy train. I said I'm going up the rails on a crazy train.
You know they tied me up to a stake, burnt alive, if hellfire flame, scream and wail and cry in pain. Things will never be the same. They've gone and left me so unwhole. They've gone and blessed me with an iron soul. This heart of pain don't feel no more. Woman with the iron soul, quoth the raven, nevermore. Oh, nevermore, I quoth the raven, nevermore. Oh, nevermore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
River Song, the Big Daddy manga, available now. First 3 chapters, free to read. That 4th chapter will be dropping soon. Like I said, Google fucked me over so badly, they've increased my workload. Like, shit. It just makes shit way, way tougher and way, way longer. The process is way longer. Yeah, Manga Plus creators, medibang.com/MPC. I'll go ahead and have links posted in the comments and, comments, description, once this video eventually uploads. Unlike people in Comicsgate who charge you money for comics that take years to deliver, Big Daddy's project is available free to read, and you don't gotta wait at all. It's manga. At some point, I might monetize the colored version, sell it. If I see some degree of success and there's an actual like demand for it. That was the only reason I even made the colored version. I did 2 versions at the same time. Like after the artist got done with the black and white version, then he'd go color it, and I got the colored version read from left to right, and then the black and white manga version read from right to left. It's manga. Yeah. Yeah, I talked a little bit earlier about Vito dating his comic by putting 9/11 references into it and shit. Like 50, 75, 100 years from now, people reading that comic, they're going to see these 9/11 references, and like how relevant is that really going to be? Like you look at Watchmen, like referencing shit like Richard Nixon and Vietnam War and shit. It really dates your comic whenever you reference real events like that. Unless you do it in a funny way, like I would have lampooned January 6th, because you would have actually got some good comedic material out of a joke like that. There was nothing funny about Vito's joke. Nothing funny about that at all. Yeah, I had a certain event like that in my comic where the villains reference a real world event, and I actually changed that line of dialogue and I took that out. They talk about well, what they're doing is it's a scene. It happens in chapter 3. I call it the Evil Council of Elrond scene. It's available now, free to read if you want to go check it out. But the villains, it kind of gives you an insight into the mindset of the villains. They're all sitting around talking. Like I said, the Evil Council of Elrond scene. And they make reference to something called the Dutroux affair. Like this guy talks about how, you know, hey, boss, should I take care of his family? And boss like, nah, we'll have our man on the street take care of it. He's making a name for himself in the papers, you know. And talks about how and it shows like a little whatever. And it's like, oh, it's that fucking serial killer from chapter 1. Oh shit, he's a fucking. They're using this guy as a tool or whatever. So then the fentanyl dealing Chinese general says, using maniacs as proxies is a bit risky. Aren't you worried about blowback? What would happen if the news found out? It could be quite the scandal. Like that was the new written line of dialogue. The old written line of dialogue is where he references the Dutroux affair. It's like, careful there, you don't want another Dutroux affair on your hands. Now, people that don't know what the Dutroux affair is, they might just think, oh, he must be referencing something inside that comic world or whatever. But for people that know like, oh shit, like the Dutroux affair was like a real event that happened like back in the 90s in Belgium. What happened was there was this guy called Marc Dutroux. He got arrested, and it turned out he was working for like high level dudes, like kidnapping girls and like using these girls as blackmail. Like, well, what happened was Marc Dutroux was being contracted by this businessman to go kidnap women, and he would bring these women to these sex parties and sex orgies where this businessman would invite all of these powerful politicians over, and like the girls would engage in sex acts with him, and they would get it all on camera, and then he would use it as blackmail against them. And Marc Dutroux was caught up in all this because he was being used as a cat's paw to get these women. And I guess he was doing a lot more fucking crazier shit, like kidnapping young girls and keeping them as prisoners inside these like special like dungeons he was creating in his house. Like when they looked into it, they found he had 3 houses. He had like $50,000 in his bank account, but he didn't have a job. Like, where did you fucking get all these houses? Where are you getting this money from? Like, you know, he was working as a cat's paw for these higher end individuals that were using him. And what happened was the whole thing blew up. It went to court, and like the judge on the case like proved to be like a real corrupt judge. He was probably compromised by all the shit, and he ended up replacing the lawyer on the other side. And like the people of Belgium, they came out in full force. There was like fucking almost 250,000 people marching in the streets and shit against the corruption. And ultimately ended up in just Marc Dutroux getting thrown under the bus, and like all of the high level officials involved, nothing happened to them. All of the girls that came forward to confirm the story, they were demonized by the media. Yeah, eventually in the early 2000s, I think they finally sentenced the guy. It was like a huge scandal. But anyway, that's what it was referencing, and it's like it's just too obscure, and it dates it, and so I just took it out and replaced the line of dialogue. Because sometimes that's what you got to do. You don't want to date your comic by putting in real world events. If you don't have to, unless it's absolutely necessary to the plot. Like the January 6th joke, that would have been necessary. I would put that one in. Just because because it's an actual real joke that's actually funny. Because leftists do act like it was like a huge thing when really it wasn't. It was a deep state psyop. There was no fucking insurrection. But Vito thinks there was an insurrection. So he's obviously never going to tell a joke like that. It was an insurrection, bigot. Don't you know? They had a committee and everything. Yeah. I can see where you want to insert comedy here and there. Like I realized with my project early on that it was just too bleak and too dark. I had to insert comedy somehow. But I didn't want it to be too overt, So what I did was I brought a dog into the fold. A character, a dog. Like this dog's sole purpose is going to be comic relief. So I brought this dog character into the fold, and also for the dual purpose, if it happened to become popular and people liked it and it like went mainstream, then there could be something cute like a plushie that could be sold, kind of like a Chewbacca situation, where Disney makes shitloads of money off of Chewbacca plushies, and that's basically the only reason Chewbacca hasn't been killed off yet, because Disney makes too much money off of his plushies. But yeah, that was the twofold purpose: insert comedic relief and a possible revenue of plushies, whatever, if it became popular. So I designed this dog, and the character design for the dog, what I wanted it to look like was the Doge dog from the memes, the memes of that Shiba Inu dog, but only just shrunk down in like Chihuahua form. Just a really small Shiba Inu, like that meme dog, but like a small form. Something cute that could be a cute plushie or whatever. So I, told the design to my artist. I kind of described it, my first artist, and he pulled it off perfectly. I mean, it looked like a cute little, Shiba Inu, but like small. And then my second artist came on board, and it came time to draw the dog, and this is when the dog started to become more prominent in the second half of the book. And I described to my second artist what I want the dog to look like, just a small little chibi version of the Shiba Inu meme dog, And here's where I kind of fucked up as art editor. I kind of stopped. Well, I didn't pay as close attention as I should have to how my second artist was drawing this dog. And as you look at the dog as the pages go on, like what it does, it looks like the dog, he just gets progressively scruffier and uglier looking. Like my second artist, by the time that he got done drawing the dog in the final panels, it literally looked like Benji the Hunted. I'm like, oh fuck, this dog looks completely different. He looks like a scruffy little fucking little Shih Tzu or something, little brown Shih Tzu. I was like, oh fuck. But the dog did go through a lot of shit, so it's like, it kind of keeps in line with the dog's character arc. So, but it's there for comedy though. That's the reason why he's there. I was just gonna see, if somebody actually notices how the dog changes. Like, what? This dog just gets progressively more scruffier and uglier as the fucking series goes on. Like, I know, right? That's part of the reason why he's there. Comic relief. Yeah, sometimes you got to have a little bit of comedy in there. I know that. Yeah, that's what Kubrick tried to do with Dr. Strangelove. Like I talked about this before, like the only real scenario we have in which we can take back, unless Trump actually wins and starts really cleaning house, firing people. What we need is scenario Strangelove. Some rogue general to get in there and use the military to take down the deep state. Yeah, anybody who's never seen the movie Dr. Strangelove, the Stanley Kubrick classic, George C. Scott, Sterling Hayden. What happens is there's this rogue general, Sterling Hayden. He goes completely rogue and he decides to attack the Soviet Union. and you got a small handful of people trying to stop him, and like then you got a small handful of generals. They're hiding out in the war room, planning what's going to happen post nuclear war. And you got Doctor Strangelove there in the goddamn wheelchair, and you got George C. Scott, the general. And I was watching the behind the scenes of Doctor Strangelove, and how Kubrick was able to get that performance out of George C. Scott, because it was ultimately supposed to be a comedy, is what it was, that movie, and it was pretty funny in many regards. But this is how Kubrick was able to get that performance out of George C. Scott. Now, apparently, Kubrick had heard that George C. Scott was like a real hardcore chess enthusiast. He loved to play chess, and Kubrick also was a chess enthusiast as well. So what happened was Kubrick challenged George C. Scott to a chess game. So they played chess, and no matter what, George C. Scott could not beat Stanley Kubrick. They just kept playing over and over, and Kubrick would always beat him. And this frustrated George C. Scott quite a bit, because he's considered himself pretty good at chess, and he had never really lost himself. You know, he had never really come across somebody that would beat him so handily and so soundly every fucking round. And then it came time to shoot Dr. Strangelove. And what Kubrick did was, he had the specific orders for George C. Scott and how he would shoot the scenes. He would shoot each scene 3 different times. The first time would be to do exactly what was written in the script. And then the second time would be to have George C. Scott do the script in his own way, like how he would deliver it himself. Like if he was just go off the cuff or whatever, just be yourself in this one. And then he wanted him to do it a third way. And in the third way, he wanted George C. Scott to just be as extreme as possible, like just as extreme as you can. Like the first way, do it subdued. Second way, do it a little bit medium, a little bit more. But third way, just throw the hat off, just stomp around, just do it as crazy as you can. Just act like a lunatic, just try to, be as ham-fisted as possible. So that's what he did. Every scene where George C. Scott filmed, he did it 3 different ways. The first way, subdued. Then the second way, a little bit more, add a little oomph to it. And then the third way, where he's just the fucking as extreme as possible. And then after they got done filming the film, it came time to cut the film and edit it together. And what happened was Stanley Kubrick went in there and he took every single scene where George C. Scott was acting over the top, and those are the scenes he used. He didn't even bother using any of the other scenes. And the reason he did that is because that was the only way he could get that performance out of George C. Scott. And I guess George C. Scott, he had resentment over Kubrick over that. He didn't like it because he felt like Kubrick played him. And he felt like he had left a lot of good performances, some of the better performances, on the table by having it get cut that way. And that forever kind of soured their relationship. But anytime you watch Dr. Strangelove again, just keep that in mind. If you ever watch the performances of George C. Scott, just know every scene was him just doing the over-the-top scene, basically. Him being as extreme as possible. And that was the way he fucking cut the film. I mean, well, it was a comedy, Slim Pickens in there, riding the fucking bomb. Yeah, the funny part is when he filmed that and the protocols behind getting the codes for the bomb and like all of that shit, that turns out that was so close to how they actually do it in the military. Like they had military people come question him and ask him how he got that information. And Kubrick had just guessed it, he just guessed that that's what the protocols would be. Like you'd get some sort of call in, it'd be some sort of code, and you'd have to have like lock boxes and shit and keys. And it turns out like it is like to that degree to fucking launch a bomb like that. But yeah, scenario Strangelove. If the fucking general decided to go rogue, use the fucking military against the deep state, I would be all for that shit. Because at the end of the day, that's the only way we're going to figure out what happened with this Trump assassination. The military needs to get involved. There needs to be military tribunals. You can't have the deep state investigating itself. But then again, the military is just as much as part of the deep state, You'd have to get completely uncorruptible. I don't know how you do it, really. put together a military tribunal that would be able to investigate this, a bunch of JAG officers or something. I just don't know. Yeah, you hear about Mr. Beast and his troon buddy Chris? Boy, I fucking called this one out. Shit. I knew there was something about Mr. Beast I didn't like. Boy, me getting kicked off of Twitter, losing my Twitter account for telling that piece of shit and his troon buddy to yeet themselves. That tweet's starting to age like fine wine thinking about it now. I lost one of my Twitter accounts way back in the day over that shit. Mr. Beast he posted something, forget what it was, but I just got so fucking pissed off that I sent a message back. Like, why don't you and your troon buddy Chris go join the 48% and just yeet yourself already? And like that, I got suspended for 12 hours. But at the end of 12 hours, rather than just having my suspension be lifted, they decided to just yeet my profile outright. Like, you know what? After thinking about it, talking shit to Mr. Beast was a bridge too far. Fuck you. Fuck you, Big Daddy. You're gone. Yeah. Fuck you too. No, but I've actually got an official Twitter account that's kind of tied into my manga. I don't do no more shit posting. I'll just repost people's art and shit like that. Yeah, after you kind of step away from things for a while, then you come back and look at shit. You come back with a different point of view. Like I was watching one of these CG slum streams here, and they're all just an entire panel of dudes sitting on there talking about other dudes. And it just felt so Gossip Girl, just so well, like I said, Gossip Girl, like a bunch of high school girl shit. And it's like I felt so embarrassed watching that shit. I was like, you know what, Big Daddy, you used to do that same type of shit, talk about these same type of people, same type of shit. Well, not necessarily, because my shit's more of like a stand-up comedy act. Like stand-up comedians will make fun of celebrities, politicians, entertainers, because there's a lot of comedic fodder there. Well, so too is there a lot of comedic fodder with all of these characters within the griftosphere, and it's basically what I would do, just use them as comedic fodder. But looking at it now, it's just, I don't know if I have the heart for it anymore. If I see some good comedic fodder there, like with Vito's comic, for instance, there was a lot of good comedic fodder there. That's why I roasted it for as long as I did this show. As long as I see comedic fodder, I'm gonna fucking roast that shit. Really is as simple as that. Boy, speaking of which, have you seen Goody Nig? I heard Goody Nig came out. Oh, God. Boy, you talk about cringe. The only thing more cringe than the Goody Nig comic itself was that opening that Mike Barron wrote for it. Oh, my God. Did you see that opening that Mike Barron wrote for Goody Nig? Boy, you talk about get yourself a bottle of whiskey and take yourself a shot for every time you cringe. You're going to fucking die of alcohol poisoning. Oh, fucking real. Like, I don't know how Mike Barron's legacy stays intact after this one. After reading that shit, I'm like, oh my God, this is some of the most pathetic shit I've ever fucking read in my life. It really was. I mean, I've seen some pathetic shit before. Like this shit was worse than the Ed Piscor suicide note. That's how pathetic this shit was. For real. I'm like, oh my God. Oy vey. When you really look at it in hindsight, when you take away characters like the Punisher, and then take away characters like Batman, these established characters, and you see what people like Chuck Dixon and Mike Barron are capable of doing. What are they capable of doing? Goody Nig, Alpha Core, the Vox Day comic. Like, is any of that shit actually good? I don't know. I think Mike Barron did some real harm to his legacy by coming out there and writing what he did on that fucking beginning of the Goody Nig comic. Jesus Christ, it was bad. And it sounds like he was trying to do some world building. Like, it sounds like the United States is no more. There's just basically 7 territories now. And it's just so depressing. It's like, really? You mean the United States isn't mounting some sort of a counterstrike to take back Texas or anything like that? Like, I don't like hearing stories about the United States being fractured and broken. Like, that's not a good story. Fuck. Like, the entire premise behind the Ripperverse should be the healing of the country and Texas and America coming back together again. That should be like one of the end goal storylines. But people in Texas, they're so parochialized. They actually consider themselves a whole separate nation in the United States of America. They really do. They act like completely different creatures, too. Yeah, Texans and Californians, boy, you talk about people cut from the same fucking cloth. I think that's why they joined forces in that Civil War movie. I think that's why. Yeah, it's bad. It's fucking bad. If you haven't read it or you've seen anybody do any videos on it, I'm surprised Ethan hasn't done a video on it. If he hasn't yet, I can see why though, because he's trying to protect Mike Barron. Because you would basically have to nuke Mike Barron if you were to go through and read that shit. That's how bad it was. Like Mike Barron is so pathetic, so desperate for work that he called up Chuck Dixon and begged Chuck Dixon to ask Eric July for a job. That's how pathetic Mike Barron is. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, Mike Barron. And you actually admitted to that. Fuck. But this is the Eric July audience this was all written for. These people, like, yeah, they're lobotomized short bus riders. They can't really read between the lines of things. Splatterpuss, the name of the main villain is Splatterpuss, really? Like Mike Barron, if you're doing all of this to troll Eric July, I would have respect for you. Boy, that'd be funny if he was. But you know he's not. Jesus Christ, Mike Barron, you basically torched your whole fucking legacy by doing this. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Ugh. I like some Mike Barron, but what kind of legacy do these comic book guys really have anyway? Only those who seek out their out of print old work will ever know them. Yeah, true. Goody Nig is out to pirate already? I might have to look at that. Because I mean, I gave Alpha Core review, and I mean, I skewered Alpha Core. It was over a 2-hour review. Nobody reviewed that fucking book better than me. Yeah, Alpha Core was worse than ISOM 1 and 2. That's how bad Alpha Core was. Be interesting to see if old Goody Nig is on that same level. Barron and Dixon are old geezers who don't have much future left to worry about. Yeah, sounds like trying to make as much money as possible while they still got some semblance of their wits left. Yeah, looking at that fucking opening for Goody Nig, that looked like it was written by somebody with dementia. It really did. I mean, Mike Barron, he's getting up there. What is he in his 80s? Fuck. Yeah, Mike Barron, he should have fucking hung up the cloak a long time ago. Him and Chuck Dixon both. Just think about how many like real good, hungry young writers are losing out on work because the legendary Chuck Dixon and the legendary Mike Barron keep getting shoved down people's throats. Don't you know he's legendary? Yeah, this work doesn't look that legendary. It looks like Burger King Kids Club for adults. That's what it fucking looks like. You just a racist, hoe ass cracker. Slap your nuts on the table. Fuck. What a joke. Yeah, looking back on all of this Rippaverse shit, now I had once said that ISOM 1 was so bad that it was literally the worst thing ever created by a human. But looking back on it now, ISOM 1 is actually the best written book out of all of the Rippaverse books. It's better than Part 2. It's better than Alpha Core. It was Yaira was so bad I couldn't even finish it. That's how bad Yaira was. Yeah, ISOM 1, as bad as it was, it's the most well-written thing that's come out of the Rippaverse thus far. Be interesting to see what happens with Goody Nig. From what I heard, it sounds like a fucking abortion. What it sounds like. Talking about all of Goody Nig's backstory, how he was in high school and college and this and that. Like, what? Nobody gives a shit about this character, let alone his fucking backstory. This is you collecting a fucking paycheck, Mike Barron. This is all this is. And I hope you were fucking trolling him. Splatterpuss. Naming him Kato. Like Kato Kalin. That fucking O.J. Simpson's house guest. No, he's named after a Greek philosopher, blah, blah, blah. or a Roman, whatever. Burger King Kids Club for adults. Write that shit in stone. Yeah, it doesn't matter how legendary your writer is or whatever. I mean, you could reanimate the corpse of Mark Twain and Shakespeare himself. They ain't gonna be able to fucking save any of these shitty characters. No, Big Daddy himself. Well, I mean, I could probably make something interesting out of it, obviously. But yeah, this is it's a lost cause, is what it is. Every fucking book is gonna lose sales. And at some point, his payroll is going to exceed his profits. And at that point, he's going to have to make a choice. Does he start cutting back his staff? Does he start selling off IPs? Does he sell the whole fucking thing outright? We'll see. We'll fucking see. Take a loan from Daddy Beck. You can always get a loan from the bank, if you know what I mean. Look at how much money I made, hoe ass cracker. Give me more money. I got to pay my employees. Fuck. Eric July, what a fucking joke. What a fucking talentless hack. Oh, what the fuck is this? Now, anybody who hasn't seen and is unaware, I have summoned spirits before using a Ouija board, and anytime I do, every so often they'll pop up in the back room. Looks like we got Isom Knox in the back room. Isom Knox, welcome to the show, my friend. What do you have to say for yourself?
It's pronounced Esom, you hoe-ass cracker. I've come back from the land of the dead for a message for all your hoe-ass haters be talking shit about my great-great-grandboy. I come here to do two things. Slap my nuts on the table and bitch slap crack-smoking hoe-ass crackers. And I'm all out of tables to slap my nuts on. You hear me, you crispy, crunchy, crackety-ass hoe-ass cracker?
Yeah, get your ass off my fucking show, boy. I get my whip on you. Up ahead, triple threat. I be picking cotton and I be eating the cornbread. A ninja what? They wrap you in a label like Cain was able to slap your nuts on the motherfucking table. Don't need no shitter chatter. And cut that jibber jabber. Nuts on the table, whole ass cracker. Nuts on the table. Ho ass cracker, ho ass cracker. Yeah, I saw him Knox. He pops in from time to time, try to talk some shit. But I have to shut that shit down immediately. If you just let him go, he'll just keep on going and going. Oh, that hibbity jibbity. That's where Eric gets it from. That's where he gets his jive talk from, right there. Gets it from his great-great-grandpappy. Yeah, he was born of slave rape, you know. Born of slave rape. I saw him Knox. Comics in the 80s and 90s, they could write stuff kids would buy, but adults could enjoy. Now kids aren't buying. They complain when it's too adult. They're corrupting the youth. Yeah. Nobody knows how to market their comics anymore. It's like, do I make it for kids? Do I make it for adults? Who do I make it for? When it comes to me and my project, my manga, you want to know who my target audience is? Myself. Same thing with my live streams. If you are your own target audience, then you can never go wrong because you'll always be entertained. And if other people want to come along for the ride, well, that's the way I see it. Yeah, speaking of which, Big Daddy Manga is available now. Chapter 4 will be uploaded at some point, probably sometime this week. We're up to 3 chapters right now. Yeah, check out the trailer again.
You know they tied me up to a stake, burnt alive of hellfire flame, scream and wail and cry in pain. Things will never be the same. They've gone and left me so unwhole. They've gone and blessed me with an iron soul. This heart of pain don't feel no more. Woman with the iron soul, quoth the raven, nevermore. Oh, nevermore, I quoth the raven, nevermore. Oh, nevermore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Available now. Available now. Free to read. I'll have the links posted. Comment section, the description. medibang.com/MPC. The Manga Plus Creators site. Yeah, it's been in development for a long time. I was originally going to enter it into the Tezuka Award, but then they stopped doing the Tezuka Award years ago, and they instead created a site called Manga Plus Creators. Instead of having the Tezuka Award happen once a year, it basically goes on 24/7, 365. Anybody can upload whenever. Yeah, I wish I would have read the fine print on the submission guidelines, because they start counting the votes at the beginning of the month. Had I known that, I would have put it on at the first of the month, but I waited till the 10th. I probably could have gotten maybe 10,000 more views, because it all depends on when you upload the shit too. But yeah, if it's popular enough, you get a chance to get a fucking run in the Shonen Jump app. And who knows, if the Japanese like it, it might get a fucking full-on series. Best to bat for the fences and try to fucking hit a grand slam and just try to bunt and get on first base, if you know what I mean. And I do have the colored version. I can try to sell at some point through a crowdfund if I want to cross that bridge. We'll cross that bridge if we come to it. Right now, I just want to get all of the fucking black and white version out. People will read for free if they want. Available now. And like I said, with Comicsgate, you got to pay money to get comics that you may or may not get years from now. With Big Daddy, you can just go read the manga for free. Manga. Big Daddy manga. Available now. I'll have the links posted. All right, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Shit. Should we just keep going for the next 20 minutes or so? Try to hit that 3-hour mark? Maybe we will. Go through the comments, see if I've missed anything. Yeah, I think Chuck Dixon has proven if he doesn't have his professional editors around, well, we've all seen what Chuck Dixon is capable of without professional editors. The Vox Day comic, Alpha Core. I mean, what has he ever created, you know, that's not associated with a mainstream product that can be considered truly great? Him and Mike Barron both. I mean, I've never really read any Chuck Dixon or Mike Barron, but from what I have read, doesn't look too bright. No, I did see this one comic that Mike Barron did with Punisher, where like Punisher's like saving a bunch of kids and like taking on fucking glowies and shit. I'm gonna go read that one because that looks like some shit back when you can actually still write some good comics when you weren't bound by political correctness. I think he wrote it back in the 80s, early 90s, something like that. Back when Barron was doing Punisher. Yeah, Need for Sneed knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, Mike Barron needs to channel that old school Punisher energy into the Goody Nig character. But how could you do that with a character that's so fey? He is Fegala. Yeah, that's about one of the most gayest characters I've ever seen, Goody Nig. I don't know how you can do anything good with that character. I really don't. Well, I guess it's available now. Somebody's going to pirate it. I'll probably end up reading it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll even review the fucking thing. Maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll rant and rave a little bit more. If I could think of something to talk about, let me think here. We talked about quite a bit of issues. Talked a little bit more about the Trump conspiracy. Talked about the woke Olympics. Talked about the first 22 pages of Superkiller and how I went through and how I would have made it a little bit more funnier. And exposed Vito's one true weakness when it comes to writing comedy, his leftist politics. He's a real team guy. He's so much of a team guy, he's going to leave so many good jokes on the table. making fucking 9/11 jokes and terrorist jokes. Oh, the UK. Did I talk about that? I think I talked about maybe I did. Yeah, I heard something going on over there in the UK. They're finally starting to stand up for themselves. Was it the people rioting against the immigrants, or is it the immigrants rioting just because they can? I forget. I know there are some riots going on. I don't know the exact nature of it because it's going on in the UK, and I don't really give a shit about the UK. Hell, I'm an American. I barely give a shit about what's going on in America. Aye. Yeah, America. And you know, I talk a lot of shit about America, about how bad we got it here. But it could be worse. Oh God, it could be worse. We could be like one of those countries, you know, like the UK or like Canada or fucking Australia. I mean, as bad as we had it here, at least we didn't have internment camps for the unjabbed. At least we didn't have people getting their fucking bank accounts frozen for protesting. We don't have people getting arrested for memes. Yeah, we aren't encouraging euthanasia as a form of healthcare. Yeah, it could be worse. We could be like one of those fucking countries. Yeah, but if the left gets their way, we will be. Because that's one of their ultimate goals, is to knock us down a few pegs to where we're on the level of those countries. And what they got to do is take away our sense of greatness, take away our sense of American exceptionalism. Like, there's nothing exceptional about being an American. No, you're just like everybody else. Like, no, we're different. We're just a little bit different than everybody else. And you want to know what separates America from all these other fucking countries? We have a constitution and we have a Bill of Rights. Those other countries don't. We have a fucking constitution and a Bill of Rights. And one thing the left wants to do, set fire to both of them. Burn the Constitution. Take the Bill of Rights and wipe your ass with it. That's what they want to do. Yeah, I also want to wipe my ass with the Bill of Rights. Well, just one in particular. The 19th Amendment. Yes, abolish the 19th Amendment. There we go. That'll fix a lot of things right there. Oh shit, that's a huge part of the Democrat voting base, though. Yeah, 19th Amendment, women right to vote. No, it's like, why? Why do they always vote Democrat? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. All these Democrats do is usher in policies that replace you women with mentally ill men. Yeah, you look at all these troons replacing women nowadays. Who puts those policies in place? Democrats. Yep. Whenever I see a man beating the shit out of a woman nowadays in the boxing ring, it's like, hey, you women voted for this shit. You fucking voted for it. That's what you fucking get. You get what you fucking deserve. Yeah, women will buy a handbag for $5,000. They shouldn't be let near the economy. Yeah, the only reason that the Western economies thrive the way they do is because women spend money on frivolous bullshit. Just imagine if women didn't spend money on frivolous bullshit, just how all of the Western economies would just tank overnight. Oh, it's white people rioting against the migrants. Well, that's good to hear. Maybe the UK, they finally grew a fucking backbone. Yeah, maybe Conor McGregor will become the fucking president of Ireland. And then he brings some of these top immigrants onto the stage with him. And he's got a griddle going on. And inside of the griddle, he's got a whole bunch of like really hot steaming oil and a bunch of potatoes that is all like cooking right there. And he tells the immigrants, how would you like a big old hot steamy plate of home fries? And he grabs the fucking skillet and beats them over the head with it, splashes the hot oil on them. Fuck yeah. I'd be down for that. How about a big old hot steamy plate of home fries, you motherfuckers? Yeah, Conor McGregor, he's got to step up and save Ireland. Yeah, I don't know what the UK is going to do. Like, people got to get somebody in there to fucking fix this shit. They got to channel their inner Guy Fawkes, if you know what I mean. Remember the 5th of November. It sounds like they are, though. I mean, shit. White people are out there rioting against the immigrants. Maybe the UK is channeling their inner Guy Fawkes. Yeah, they're finally pissed off. These immigrants to get to go stab a bunch of kids, get to rape and pillage, do whatever the fuck they want, and then they get off scot-free. Like, about time fucking these Brits are starting to stand up for themselves. Oh, the Irish and the British nationalists are joining forces. I wonder if the Scottish will join too. Yeah, people got to stand up. Locusts, like locusts, they coming for your soul. They coming for the motherfucking children's genitals. Locusts, like locusts, they coming for your mind. If I die by my enemies, lay it on the line. Locusts, like locusts, they coming for your heart. If I die by my enemies, tear their ass apart. Locusts, like locusts, coming for my knee. If I die by my enemies, make sure they bleed. Make sure they bleed. If I die by my enemies, make sure they bleed. Yep. All of my enemies out for my cheese. Watch your back, ninja. I've been watching you since the last ninja. Player haters come and try to take what's mine. Cross that line, gotta get mine. If you know what I mean. 2 hours 51. Shit, we're almost at that 3 hour mark. Yeah, we'll go ahead and close it out at the 3 hour mark. We'll rant and rave a little bit more. Fucking 3 hour show. It's been a while since I fired one up on this channel. So I was like, fuck, might as well. I got 3% left on the phone too. Shit, perfect timing. The UK government is going to put all the white people in jail when they wouldn't put Packy rapers in jail. Yeah, you watch. If the UK keeps up with these protests, what the UK government's going to do is they're going to go full Justin Trudeau. They're going to get the fucking horses out, start stomping people, go full Seabiscuit. People start getting arrested. And the migrants will still get to stab people, still get to rape. We don't want to be called racists. Allow our behavior to be dictated by people shaming us. Rackets, he smoked some crack? Did he? I know he was trying to do some Bible readings, like some cringe-ass Bible readings, and people were like fucking trolling him. Trying to make the case for biblical polycules or something fucking stupid. Like, you stupid, degenerate piece of fucking shit. Put that Bible away. You shouldn't even be streaming. You got a fucking trial coming up. Does anybody know if the fucking footage from the cops ever came out? The body cam footage? I remember Noel, like, they end up like pooling together $6,000 to pay for the body cam footage. Be interesting to see what went down. They deduce that he must have smoked crack from documents and transcripts. Yeah, rackets better be careful taking strange drugs out there, coke, crack, anything, because it could have a little bit of fentanyl laced in there. Take a little bit too much fentanyl like that. Fucking overdose, dead. Fentanyl kills more people every year than anything else. More fighting age men between the ages of 18 to 45 die from fentanyl than anything else. And all of the fucking chemicals to make that shit coming from China, being supplied to the Mexican drug cartels. It's been an unholy alliance. China's fucking waging war with us without firing a single fucking shot. Not even to mention how many military men have keeled over because of the fucking jab. Shit, I know of 3 different people, like military people, that have fucking keeled over heart-related bullshit because of the jab. Yeah, they fucking waging war without firing a single fucking shot, killing shitloads of fucking Americans. What can we do? We can't do nothing. Except for whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Fire up a YouTube channel and channel your inner Alex Jones the way Big Daddy does. Maybe spread awareness. Speak truth to wokeness, as they say. Keep on keeping on. Keep on speaking that truth to wokeness. Yep. On speaking that truth to wokeness. Yeah, if the Donald returns, less fentanyl will get in. He's tougher on China and Mexico. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm tackling in my my comic, The Big Daddy Manger. I bring up the fentanyl crisis. Well, I don't bring it up, but it's just kind of there in the background. Like the main character infiltrates a facility, and then you see a couple of bad guys sitting around wearing full hazmat suits. One of them's got a fucking clipboard. He's like, excellent. This is some of the most potent fentanyl we've ever cooked. Prep another set of barrels. You see all of these barrels in the background with the flame mark on them. Like, oh shit, this is a fentanyl lab. Oh, fuck. Yeah, the Big Daddy Manger lunges for the fucking throat. Available now, free to read, on the Manga Plus Creators website. I'll have the links posted. All right, so yeah, we're approaching the 3-hour mark. Let's go ahead and find a good song to close it out with. Yep. Oh wait, we got somebody else in the back room. Yeah, every so often I got random celebrities and from the griftosphere kind of pop into the back room from time to time. Mandy Summers, welcome to the show. What have you got to say to my audience?
Why, hey there, love bugs. It's me, Mandy Summers. I'm here to jiggle my teddies and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of bubble gum. Commence the jiggling, partner. Yeehaw! Jiggle them titties, jiggle them titties, jiggle, 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 jiggle.
Mandy, you truly are a degenerate whore. Yes. Well, she's got more than just nudes out there. She's out there, you know, full penetration with dildos. It's a fucking raunchy little slut, that one. The internet is forever, ladies. In your youth, if you thought it up on camera somewhere, the internet is forever. Somebody gonna find that shit. Somebody will find that shit. All right. Let's go ahead and close the show out. Thank y'all for coming out. Big Daddy Manger is available now, free to read. I'll have the links posted. It's been a fun one, guys. Thanks for coming out. And tune in next time. Who knows when I might fire one up. I've got 3 different fucking channels, you know. It's been a while since I fired one up on this channel. It's like, you know what? Let's go ahead and fire up a live stream and put it on this channel. I got to show this channel some loving. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out. It's been a fun one.
Creature, feature, preacher, sing. Darkness in my dreams. Smoke screen serenade. Bad man just don't play. I'm feeling forever strained. Heartstrings all in frayed. Stone cold renegade. A stone cold renegade. Stone cold renegade. Blood stained in the shade.
There's a man they call Big Daddy, a legend in these parts. His words like bullets. He brings justice to the night. He's a true gangster of love, fighting for what's right. People say he's a bandit, the most wanted in the land. But they don't know the story, they don't understand. His words are pure truth, they cut through like a knife. Big Daddy's got the power to change the wrongs to right.
A stone cold renegade, blood stained in the shade.
You know they tied me up to a stake, burnt alive of hellfire flame, scream and wail and cry in pain. Things will never be the same. They've gone and left me so unwhole. They've gone and blessed me with an iron soul. This heart of pain don't feel no more. Woman with the iron soul, quoth the raven, nevermore. Oh, nevermore, I quoth the raven, nevermore. Oh, nevermore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Big Daddy Manger. Available now. Free to read.